Hello, hello.
The new setup will be nice.
Oh my gosh, it'll be so nice. Hi guys, hello. Hello, hello, hello. Hi. Just waiting for you. I know you guys can see me. I can't see you yet, so we'll hold tight just a second. We'll have a sip of coffee. How about that? Or whatever. Coffee. I mean, that's what I'm drinking, coffee. Come on, little YouTubes. There we go. Hello, friends. Happy Saturday. Nice to see you. So my voice is still, I don't even know. I probably need to go to the doctor. I feel great, but my voice has done this since September. Usually by now it's cleared itself up after all of my traveling and teaching and talking. And I might just, Nick probably would appreciate this. I was going to say, maybe I just need a muzzle. I need a muzzle so I can't talk. Um, Anyhow, hello, welcome. Nice to see you, friends. Happy Saturday. My name is Lael Kankar. And when I am not traveling, we are here on Saturdays doing what I like to call creative listing. So, a couple days before we get together, I publish a couple of, sorry, I'm going to try not to say sorry today. I'll just say, pardon me, excuse me. But I publish a couple of creative listing topics or prompts on my blog, send out email, put it on social media, and then we get together here on Saturdays. And what I do is I take those listing prompts and I play. I am playing with stamps and stickers and die cuts and all different kinds of things. But basically, I am telling a story, and I'm telling a story through listing. All right. So, very easy, approachable way to document you or maybe whoever you're making a list about. One of my favorite lists that we have been doing for the last 5 years, we're doing today, and that is about last month. And that is a list that we always start at the start of a new month, where we kind of just recap the prior month. If you're new here, welcome to you. I always say there's only two things you need to do what we do here. Okay. You need something to write with and something to write on. Beyond that, it is totally up to you what you have, what you want to pull from your stash, what you want to buy, what you want to borrow, steal, beg from a friend, whatever it is. But something to write with and something to write on. Beyond that, don't let any pressure, right? Because the whole purpose that what we do is to document and tell a story. I think one of the fun things about doing what we do is doesn't matter what kind of product you use, right? Obviously, product I use is what I use. But many of you used entirely different things. You will find a link in the description box of the video down below. It'll take you to a page on my website of what I am using. I'll be using lots of Lail by Mail products today, and then with kind of a fall collection for one of our lists. So, welcome to you and happy first Saturday in December. Exciting, right? In a quick sec, I will take a look at the chat. There's a live chat that takes place if you're watching live, and if you want to pop in and say hello, I would love to know that you're here. So pop in and tell us hi. The wonderful community that you guys have built over the last 5.5 years here. So it's always fun for people to pop in and say hi. If you're new, especially pop in and say hi. We would love to say hello to you. If you're watching the replay, welcome to you. You were missed. We would have loved to have you live, but replay is just as good. If you're watching replay, do me a favor and pop in the comments and say hi. Either way, while you were here, thumbs up. That's the easiest way that you can help any content creator out there that you follow. Thumbs up, super easy. So let's get all the thumbs up today. Okay, that'd be awesome. All right, so I'm going to divert my attention, my eyes over to the chat and say hello, and then we will dive in. I will tell you, I dangled a little carrot in yesterday's email. I was behind. I'm behind right now. It is what it is. I'm 2 days behind in my December daily, which I will get one of those days done today and hopefully two tomorrow. And I was behind in getting my email out. We are kind of heavy right now in new product development. So those deadlines call and just got to pay attention to them, right? And then some family, good, family things, trying to enjoy the holidays a little bit. So I said to myself yesterday, you know what? If I'm a day or two behind in my December daily, you know what? That's okay, right? We have permission to be behind. All right, so let me divert my attention to the chat. We'll see who's here. I'm going to go back to what I was saying. I had dangled a little carrot that I said, as soon as we jump on, so as soon as I rotate the camera, I'm going to give you a couple of sneak peeks at two pretty big things that are coming up on December 15th. So a little bit more than a week away. My annual 2026 year in Well, it's an annual year in review project kit. But it is with the 20s, it's kind of for 2026. So I will give you a little peek at that. And then also the completely revamped for 2026 season pass. So starting with winter spring. So you get a little sneak peek at both of those. And then those will be revealed on the website on December 15th in the kind of late afternoon. But watch for more than that. All right. All right. Let's see who's here. Let us see who is here. Hello, Joy from Georgia. Joy from Georgia. Uh, you're already 6 days in your December project. I love that for you, Joy. Good for you. Congratulations. Oh no, what? You are already 6 days. Maybe are you saying you're 6 days behind? Because then I read illusions of grandeur. I'm totally confused. You've been keeping your beautiful grandkids and nursing your hubby back to health, upper triple bypass. You've been busy, my dear. You've been busy, so you have a pass. And I hope your hubby's doing well. Hello, Tabitha. Nice to see you. Tabitha needs to catch up, right? It's okay. It's if we're behind, it's okay, right? With all the time in the world. Two tips though, if you're doing a December documented or December daily type project, number one, take all the photos. You can't go back. So take all the photos, in portrait and landscape mode, and then just write a couple things down every day so you remember what you want to document when you are able to sit down. Okay. Those things will really help. Hello, Cindy. Nice to see you. Hi, Susan Scally. Hello, Paula. Ta 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 da. Marilee, nice to see you. She was up way too early this morning. Take her hubby to the airport, and he won't be home on time for your birthday. Oh, I'm sorry, Marilee. Is it the 10th? Do I remember that? Is it the 10th? Hello, Ms. L. Laura Cahill, nice to see you. You need some you need some distractions for some creative time. Well, I will gladly be your distraction today. Absolutely. And thank you for joining us. Heather Graham, nice to see you from Gilbert, Arizona. Hello, Irene. It's very warm. I have a sweater on. I'm very warm. I have the window's open and it's probably like 30 degrees outside, and I have a fan going, uh, winter, summer, sweater, own personal summer all the time. Some of you know. Hello, Amy. Amy is my right hand. Thanks for joining us, Amy. You'll see Amy in the chat. She is in blue, and she will be doing us all a favor. As I'm working with different products, she will be popping links to them in the chat. So if you see something and you're like, oh, I need to know what that is, she will pop it in the chat for us. So thank you, Amy. Thanks for joining us as always. Na, 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 na. So Laura, I missed you recovering. I missed part of that. Speedy recovery. Hello, Julianne. Nice to see you from Nova Scotia. Brenda, good morning. Good morning. Marion by the Sea from Anna Cortez. Hello, hello. And the sunshine came out, and that sometimes is a rarity up there this time of year, right? I'm glad that it is sunny for you. Nick said couple technical difficulties. Really not technical difficulties. It was just, life. Hi, Terry. Nice to see you. I hope Bob is doing well. Janine, hello, hello. Good morning. Desert Nana from Tulsa. Oh, I love what Amy suggested to Marilee. Since Marilee's husband will not be with her on her birthday, she said, Hallmark Christmas movies. Yeah, that's what I fall to sleep to at night because this time of year, my brain won't stop. And so if you know the plot, because they're all the same plot, it's easy to turn one on and fall asleep. Um, yes, thank you, Terry. Nick had an awesome 60th birthday. Yeah. I'll have a little bit about that in my about last month. Hello, Wanda. Nice to see you. Um, oh, Heather brings up a good point. She asked, does anyone else get their Black Friday goodies yet? And I'm sure many of you were shopping in lots of different places for Black Friday. I think Heather's probably referring to my Black Friday sale. The team is working away like crazy. The little team of elves, Lily and Denise. So the email that went out yesterday, should be mid-week, this coming week. So 6, 7, 8, 9, probably around the 10th, we're hoping. All right. So just lots of orders, which I can't thank you enough for. Just it's a lot. It's a lot. And you want to know what I did in the middle of that? And they just about had a panic attack, heart attack, probably almost quit. So in the middle of that, I put out a free download, kind of an idea sheet for those of you that are doing a December documented, December daily type project. And those you order, it's free on my website, but you need to add it to your cart and check out. So all of a sudden, I think on Thursday of last week, they panicked because there were like hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of orders come in because it's a free download, right? And they thought, oh my goodness, what did she do? Like, we are never going to get caught up. Like, she needs to give us a break. And I'm like, oh no, no, it's free, you guys. It's okay, it's free. So yeah. But if you miss that, that might be a good thing to go grab if you do that kind of project. Let's see. Let's see. Hello, Sarah. Nice to see you. She's finally back home from vacation, your home renovation, and guests. You've had a lot, right? You have had a lot. Hello, Karen. Karen reminds us, thumbs up, please. That'd be so awesome. Hi, Shelly. Shelly is one of my brand new creative team members. Fun to have you with us, Shelly. If you missed that announcement, that happened on Monday. Monday. Oh my gosh. Yeah. It seems like forever ago. Monday. Brand new creative team. And I'm very excited for what is in store for 2026. And I can't wait to see what they do. So welcome, Shelly. Fun to have you. Hello, Brenda Bratton. Nancy R., nice to see you. Hello, Lisa. Hello, Becky from Montana, cold, snowy Montana. So we were supposed to get a ton of snow, a ton. It rained, it poured rain. We were downtown last night, went out to dinner, went to see Nate Bargatze, whatever, in concert. He is a comedian, so funny. So funny. Oh my gosh, I can't even tell you. I haven't laughed so hard in a long time. And we came out and it was pouring rain, pouring rain. So I guess the good news as I look outside, the grass is not dry anymore, but yeah, no snow yet. But I guess the mountains, right? That's what we need. We need it in the mountains. We need it in the mountains. Wanda, your home has been filled with sickness. Oh, you guys take care. Everyone take care. Please, it's that time of year where it's just going around and nobody wants to be sick for the holidays. So, whatever you do, take emergency, put Vicks on your feet. I don't know. Humidifier, we have to do that in the land of the dry here in Utah. But it took me about 2 weeks to get over, and then Nick got it, but only for about 3 days. So take care of yourselves. Um, da 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 da. Hello, Martine from the Netherlands. Nice to see you. Thank you, Red. You know, red's not something I normally wear at Christmas time. So I got to do it, right? Got to do it. But thank you. That's very sweet. That is very sweet of you to say. It's definitely my little Christmas sweater. Hello, Maritza McNeese. Excited to be here for your first live. Oh, I love it. You're cleaning and organizing your craft room, and we met at Crafting Through the Holidays. Well, welcome. Nice to have you. And here's something about that. She says she's cleaning and organizing and things like that. Some of you list with me, right? Some of you, we're live, we're doing our listing and so forth. Others of you are working on a different kind of project. Maybe you're still working on Christmas cards or December daily or cleaning the house or working or organizing or cooking or whatever it is. But whatever reason you're here, I'm just glad to have you. Anna B, hello from the airport in Washington, D.C. Oh, safe and happy travels. Christine says she's been over a year since you've been here. Well, so fun to have you back. I love that you're back and you are happy to get back to listing. So, um, as we start to look towards the new year, I want to encourage you if you haven't listed with us in the past and you've just been kind of hanging out, New Year's a good time to start, right? And you don't have to wait till the new year because one of our lists today makes it really easy to get started just today. Okay. So welcome, Christine. Nice to have you back. Let's see. Emma, hi Emma. You and Debbie are together. I love that so much for you guys. Have so much fun for Virginia, I think, right? Virginia? Debbie used to be Texas. I don't know. The things that sometimes stick in my head. But welcome. I love that you guys are together. Hello, Janaea. Zen Girls, she is here to play. Exciting. Hello, Vikash from Long Island. Nick and I won't be too far away from you. Starting on Thursday, we are going to the city. We are going to New York for well, not for the holidays, but just for a long weekend, kind of a little bit of Nick's birthday celebration to do all the Christmas things in downtown. Very excited about that. I'll wave to you. Let's see, let's see. Mrs. Mean Pants. Hello, nice to see you. I'm sure you're not really mean. Um, oh, Maureen, Maureen, are we ready to go on your order? That just popped into my head. You don't need to tell me now, but it just popped into my head. Sarah's She's behind. She hasn't ever done the December daily class or gotten cards in. You know what, Sarah? Part of it is we just kind of try to enjoy the holidays, right? We put too much pressure on ourselves and nobody needs that, right? So you're good. You're okay. Let's see. Yes, season pass sneak peek. We're almost there. No more caffeine. Oh, hi, mom. My mom says no more caffeine. I pretty much run on it. Well, I don't know. That's second cup of coffee. But you know what? That's the only kind of caffeine I drink. I don't drink soda pop. And so coffee or iced tea, not hot tea. I don't really like hot tea. It's hot dirt, like dirt water, hot dirt water. No. Hello, live, love, Viola from Memphis, Tennessee. All right, friends. Maritza, I want to make sure I say hello to everybody. Live, love, Viola. You're watching and recovering from right total hip replacement surgery. Wow. I bet you will feel so good once you're recovered. I bet it'll be like, pardon me, it'll be like a new you. So speedy recovery and take care of yourself. Hello, Ann Cirque. Nice to see you. She's stuck with a horrible cold. I will do my best to cheer you up. Okay, I will. All of you. I'll do my best. Hi, Christina. Let's see. Oh, Shirley. Okay. Uh, oh, Shirley, I'm so glad you said that. I can totally picture you. This is Shirley, and we talked about having lunch next time you're in Utah. Yes, we're going to do that. I totally can picture your face and exactly where you were sitting in all of our conversations. And you kept bringing me the Lipton's or Nestea um unsweetened iced tea in the bottle, right? That was you. Thank you. Janaea from St. Louis. Loves my Griffin Moore. You are a new lister. I love that. Welcome. Welcome. It's so fun to have new friends and old friends alike. Hello, Denise. Denise is here with Big Cheryl. Hi, Big Cheryl and Denise. They're at my friend Lizzie Lou's, one of Lizzie's retreats. So fun. Tammy sweater. So you guys, right before we started, I put a link to the sweater in the description box of the video. It's from Amazon, super easy, but just, kind of a nice, fun, little fun. Oh, I don't know what's going on. Heather from Snowy, Ontario, Canada. Um, ah, yeah. So YouTube's doing some things right now where it's kind of like Spotify does. I don't know. I don't use Spotify, so I just see the things. But Utah. YouTube is also doing this where they kind of give you a recap of the year and will show you your like top 5 people that you follow on YouTube. And a couple of you I've been in your top 5 and you've tagged me on that. So thank you. I love that. Tabitha did too. I know that for sure. Hello, Grace Ward, joining list of people who love you in red. Your whole outfit is beautiful and vibrant. Oh, thank you. You guys know how to make somebody feel good, right? You're giving me all the glimmers today, which I appreciate. So thank you. Oh, Heather, I love it. Heather just looked at her YouTube review. Um, I was number 1 and Vicky was number 2. That's just what I couldn't be in better company with Vicky, right? Thank you. I love it. Hello, Crafty865. Hello, Carla from Arkansas. Linda May. Linda May. Hi. It's been a while, Linda May. Linda May. Yeah, Lisa, Nate, he is so funny. Oh my gosh, he was so funny. It was so good. We really enjoyed ourselves, except for the rain, but you know what? That's okay. Let's see. Yeah, listen to my mom. I know. We all got to listen to our mom, right? And then it's funny, I turn it around and I tell my kids, listen to your mom. They don't, know, right? Good morning, Nancy from Boulder. All right, all right, all right. I think we're just about ready. In the famous words of Matthew McConaughey, all right, all right, all right. Lindsay, hi, Lindsay. Finally home on a Saturday to watch. Um, Carla is joining for a few minutes from Chili, Middle Tennessee, Virginia, Chili, Misty, Decatur, Georgia. We got people from all over, right? Zen girls, I was in your YouTube top 2. I love that. Thank you, thank you. All right, friends, I think we're just about ready. The deer legs. I know. I think was that Virginia, did you comment about last time the deer legs? I'll just show you. One of the events I taught at, and this is the deer that you're looking at, the legs. One of the events I taught at in California last month, the Lizzie Lou Christmas Bash. That was our 9th annual. But one of the ladies brought me this or gave this to me, this cute little deer, right? Isn't she cute? She is so cute, but that is, those are her legs. Well, clearly those are her legs, but that's what you see. You just see those little legs sticking out, which is kind of fun, right? Terry time limit, probably, I don't know. I don't know. Maybe we'll go, I don't know. We'll just see. Because it'll take us a hot minute. I mean, just a few minutes to go through the sneak peeks, right? Because I want to show you guys sneak peeks. And some of you are like, Lael, that's the only reason I'm here. I have a busy day. Hello, woman. There's only a couple Saturdays left before Christmas. Don't you know? Could you get on with it? So that's what I'll do. Okay. Let's. I'm going to rotate the camera, turn off the lights, and move the lights in. And guess what? Well, one of the things on my list of things I commit to during December, I've already started, which I'm so excited about as it pertains to all of this filming and rotating and all that. It's going to be so awesome, and hopefully it'll be ready. I've bought all the things. I reached out to my friend Kathy Zilski and said, "Could you please help me? You are a pro when it comes to all this," and she's been amazing. So everything's ordered, and now it just needs to get here. So hopefully, our first listing of the new year, we're going to cross our fingers that this is all. I can press all kinds of buttons and switch back and forth from here to here and do all the fancy things. So, but in the meantime, we're going to go old school. We're going old school, and old school is this: unscrew. We got to rotate it, screw it back in. We got to walk across the room, turn off some lights, turn on some lights. Then I always joke, that's how you know I'm human, right? That's how you know I'm not some like super professional thing here. It's just, Vicky always jokes she's just a girl in her basement. I'm just a girl in my house, in my craft room. But I'll still be a girl in my craft room. I'll just have some much more professional filming setup, right? Okay, yes, let's plug in. Yeah, every once in a while, I know you'd think after doing this for 5.5 years that I would not forget to rotate the camera. I mean to plug in, but it happens. It happens. Okay, I have to shut the window now because I have flip flops on. Uh, Menopause, and now my feet are cold. All right, let's take one more sip of coffee, and then we'll be ready to roll. Hi, Colleen. Thank you. Thanks for the reminder to plug in. All right, let's get some coffee in this little body, and then we'll be ready. Okay, that was a big gulp. Hopefully, you didn't hear me. All right. So I did a little teasing about two big things that are coming December 15th. One is the revamped for 2026 season pass. So we're going to take a look at that first. Season pass comes in as it did last year, one of my 13 and a half by 13 craft storage pouches. And if you heard that, you're like, wait a minute, 13 and a half. So earlier this year, we increased the height to 13 and a half. So now you have well, it ends up really being about almost another inch. Don't ask why with the seams and all that. But I'm just going to show you a sneak peek. I won't show you everything, but this sneak peek is, if you look closely, it's really a peek at all of it. So this is the new branding for season pass. It will change. Those little colors and those little icons will change every quarter. And as with in the past, there are 12 double-sided papers. Look at all of those beautiful patterns there. My graphic designer that has been working with us for the last, well, really probably about 8 months. But she is now doing pretty much well, I shouldn't say pretty much all the graphic design. And this is her beautiful style. You guys are going to be so excited when you see all of this up close. A big change for season pass. We have replaced the washi tape with rub-ons. Rub-ons, rub-ons, rub-ons. 2 sheets, color and black and white. Lots of really yummy die cuts. These stamps for 2026, you're going to love. And then the word strip stickers have taken on a little bit of a change as well. Now 4 colors. So that's what I'm going to share with Season Pass. That'll give you just kind of a little sneak peek, but it's kind of a big one, right? And I know you didn't really get to see all of that. That was kind of the point. I didn't want to show it all, but that will be available on my website late afternoon, December 15th. And everything is in stock and shipping now. What also is changing for season pass for 2026 right out of the gate, everything will be offered a la carte as well as in the season pass. So it's like when you go to a Mexican restaurant, you can either get the combo meal with the enchilada and the taco and the beans and the rice. That would be the season pass. Or you can get the taco by itself. So you could get the stamps by itself, or the paper pack by itself, or the die cuts, or the rub-ons. Or you might be like, oh my gosh, I love this so much. I might need 2 packs of die cuts, or I might need 2 packs of the paper. All right, so that's the first thing. And now let me just take a quick look here and see if there are any questions. I know Amy is on. So she's probably been able to answer some questions for us just in case. Denise, I know Denise has been excited about that. Thank you, Denise. You guys love it. You love the colors. Oh, there's good. There's cherries in there. They're just, I can't even wait. I can't even wait. Is season pass a subscription? And no, it's not. It can be. There are 4 that come out a year. Winter, spring, spring, summer, summer, fall, and fall holiday. This year was the first year that we had done it. And you can either purchase it by quarter or you can purchase an annual season pass. And when you do that, you get a discount. So watch more information about that coming on the 15th. And I will also be doing a live on the 15th that night to kind of show everything up close. Thank you, Sarah. Yeah, it's been an evolution. And you know what? It's kind of what sometimes you need to do. Sometimes it's the kind of thing that if you wait, if you're like, I need to wait and get it exactly right. Well, it probably would have taken us a year and I didn't want to wait a year. So we have made lots of wonderful changes along the way and it's been fun. It's been fun and it's been very well received. Sarah, you won't find anything about 2026 season pass yet on the website. So when that goes live, there will be a subscription option on the website. Yes, absolutely. Yep, absolutely. Yes, annual season pass. It's kind of like maybe if you're a Disney person, annual season pass. All right. So the next one. Season pass is just a kind of small amount of product, almost month by month, that you can use for whatever type of project, right? I use it to decorate one of my traveler's notebook kits every month. I use it in my habit tracker. I'll be using it in a planner this year. I'll be using it in a lot of different things. And it's important to kind of distinguish, pardon me, that one from something that's called year in review. Year in review is a project kit that I have done. I think this will be the fifth year, fourth year, fifth year, anyhow. And it is a project kit. So basically, it's a kit and there's a whole class that goes with it. And with that, we are getting our traveler's notebook ready to go for the about last month lists every month. All right. So I need to decide because there's no cover sheet for this because this is it is a project kit. Yes, Mizelle, the season pass will still come with monthly setup classes. Absolutely. So what do you think? What should I show? I'll tell you what's in here. Everything in here is Lail by Mail. 2 papers that have been custom designed. Well, everything's custom designed, but the 2 papers designed by my graphic designer. So it does exactly what I want it to do. Instead of trying to, find other manufacturers' papers that work, there are 2 Lail by Mail die cut packs in the kit this year. One is exclusive to the kit. One will be available outside the kit. There is a stamp set. There's always a stamp set. There is an add-on stamp set. And then there is also an add-on little charm. Let's just start the little charm because we'll start little that way. But looky, looky, looky. Little gold charm with a little star and a little ribbon or bow and then a little 2026. So that'll be an add-on. You got a little peek at one of the papers on the back side there. Let's look at this. How about if we look at this? It's kind of a big one. This is a big one. The year in review die cut pack. Wait, is that a little blurry? Come on. There we go. Year in review die cut pack, 117 pieces. Look at all of those. Oh my gosh, you guys. So, what we do with that in that project kit is basically, um, um, let me look really quickly. Oh, here we go. This would be kind of last year what we did. We get our traveler's notebook set up, and then do I have the other one? Basically are taking all the product in the kit and we are getting everything ready for our monthly review. So this was last year's kit, but just to give you an idea, in class we do kind of January and set up for January, but well, these are all kinds of things in here, but February, March. So we're getting everything ready for your about last month. So do your about last month or your year or month in review. And that is the second thing, the second big thing. There's actually a couple of other things coming out in mid-December, but on the 15th. All right. Yes, loads of color. This is going to be so much fun. There's also, did I say there's a stamp? Oh, and an add-on stamp too. All right. So that's your little sneak peek. I've been getting tons of questions about that. We are working really hard. All the product is here. Now the bottleneck is Lail, but the bottleneck will not be Lail because that needs to start shipping on the, let's see, 15th, probably 16th, probably the 18th, the 17th or 18th, so that those of you are wanting to give year in review as a Christmas present or wanting to receive year in review as a Christmas present, that there's time to get it to you or whomever is buying it for you before Christmas. Sarah asked, new TNs. No traveler's notebooks. No new traveler's notebooks. We actually don't have any planned yet. We just did our last release of traveler's notebooks in March of this year. So historically, we've done them about every 18 months or so. So I don't know. We may see something this summer. We have to see. But yeah, we won't see anything. No plans as of yet. All right. That is a huge undertaking. And actually, it's also an extremely expensive undertaking because in March we released 4 covers. And you have to buy a lot. You have to buy a lot. So it's a good size investment. It's probably about every 18 months. All right, friends, we are ready to roll. I can't believe I'm saying this. I need to turn down my fan now. Got to turn that down. If you guys could see Reggie in his little bucket, he is like so jammed. He's like folded over like this. You know how like some cats are like this, they kind of do a little, but he's like folded in half like this. It's funny. All right. So, our first list, before we dive into our first list, let's look at the lists we did when we were together last week. We did 2. I had to leave for, oh, I know. It was Nick's birthday. We were having people over that night for dinner and I had lots of errands to run. So I had to cut it off after 2 lists. So we're going to start today with the list that we didn't get done last week. But our first list that we did is a list that we do on a monthly basis called Glimmers. The whole idea about glimmers, they're basically just little things that spark joy in your everyday life. Like one of mine, new chairs in the reception area of the dentist office, right? So silly little things. When I walked in and I noticed and I'm like, oh my gosh, Doctor Haslam has new chairs after a lot of years. So little things like that. Um, Nick and I on Thanksgiving morning had gone on a walk and we saw squirrels 3 different times on our walk, like in neighborhoods, not like in a park. So just little things like that. Glimmers is a really fun list to make. And even if you're not kind of listing with us, the whole idea of glimmers and kind of watching out for and paying attention to glimmers, it's the kind of thing that can really, I think, add a lot of positivity to your life. So we do a glimmers list. We do a glimmers list every week. Excuse me, everyone. Thank you, Terry. Yeah, I can't wait for you guys to see the full thing. I can't wait. Soon, soon. All right. Here we did a little tip in. And I had used products from the fall holiday season pass to do this whole list. This was kind of from the November portion of the fall holiday season pass. What I said I was going to do, which I have not done, I still need to do something over here. And I think I will add some photos over here or a quote or something, right? But that was our first list. Glimmers. Okay, next one. Next one is this guy. Things I'm looking forward to this December. This is a type of list when people say, Lael, I really want to get started creative listing and I don't know where to start. I say, well, a looking forward list is a great one to start with. What things you're looking forward to this holiday season, this month, this week, this Christmas, things you're looking forward to next year. A looking forward list can be a really easy list to just jump in with. So, with this one, pardon me, we used products from my Dear December collection, and we will be using Dear December again today on two of our lists. So just, my little run on list over here. This guy, this is one of the die cuts in the Dear December cut files. So there are two different versions of cut files that go along with Dear December. One is a traveler's notebook size, so it's narrower like this. And another one is a 6x8 size, so that you could use in your scrapbooks or you could use in your mini books, scrapbook pages, and things like that. So this little guy, I just tipped in to the center of my traveler's notebook. Uh, it was a little plain. I had already added this little guy here. It was a little plain, and I decided to add a little bit of snow to it. And if you were with me when I did this, I turned the page too quickly. I didn't let this dry. And what happened was, I think because I had been using a mask, I'd been using like a piece of just copy paper here when I was using my little Posca paint pen. And all I did was kind of flick it. And flicking it is what created all those little ink spots. When I pulled out the copy paper, some of the white kind of leaked through over here and it looked like a hot mess. And I said, guys, I am going to fix it. I don't know how, but I will show you next week how I fixed it. So this is what I did. I had some white little splatters right there, and I just took a black marker and covered over the top. When I put it up to the camera like that, you can see it, but you know what? Down here, no one's going to notice. And if they do, they're not going to care. And if they care, you know what? I don't care. But it also it made a mess. Let me just try to peel this back. Look what happened there. I mean, that was a giant mess. And I'm like, oh gosh, how am I going to fix that? Well, easiest way, I just cut a piece of that same exact pattern paper and layered it just right over the top. And really, with that plaid, you're never going to even be able to tell that I did that. So, when we play together, sometimes we make mistakes, right? Because that's life. It happens to all of us, happens to all of us. And so when we make mistakes here, when I make mistakes, I like to embrace them and then figure out how to fix them. Right. And we kind of usually try to do that together because just gives you ideas on how to fix things and also to not panic. Right. I mean, that made a big mess because I wasn't patient. It was still wet and it made a big mess, but I was able to fix it. Right. So all is good. Um, Carol, my sweater. Amy, can you go in the description box of the video? So Carol, there's a link in the description box of the video. Um, but Amy, if you will go to the link in the description box of the video and post it in the chat, that would be awesome. Thank you. All right, friends. So our first list for today it was our last list last Saturday that we did not get to. So that one is, oh, please. I'm going to need to do this. Just grab a little clip there to kind of hold that down. This one is called Things I Commit to Doing in December. All right, things I commit to doing in December. Um, it's funny because when I first made that list, December hadn't started yet. I made my list of things that I wanted to commit to in December. I made that last week, last probably Thursday, right? So these were the things I wanted to commit to in December. And guess what? I forgot about them. until this morning. I'm like, oh, yeah, what did I commit to doing in December? And I'm like, oh, I'm off to a great start. The things I committed to doing in December, um, several I am doing, but not enough. So, they say that if you write things down, that tends to maybe make you a little bit more committed, right? People talk a lot about that kind of at the beginning of the year when it comes to goals or things that you'd really like to achieve, that if you write them down, it makes it a little bit more concrete. So that's what I'm doing today. I am making my list of things I commit to in December so that the rest of December, there's still what? Today's the 6th. How many days? 20, 20, 25? 25. There we go. Do the math. 25, yeah. There's still 25 days left, right? So there's still 75% left. So I can commit. I'm going to commit to these. And some of them I already have. And I'm excited to share with you some of them. Well, all of them, really. Okay. So with this, I am using one of the new die sets that released in November. And these are the Stars metal dies. All right. So those are metal dies. And I will be cutting some of those out for my for this side of my page. Over here on the right, I actually have a photo. I have a full size photo that I am using on the right. So I'm going to start out with that. Um, this is a photo of our living room that I took the other morning. And this was actually my entry for the third in my December daily. And I was talking about in kind of as I was documenting that, how for me, sometimes, um, this time of year, especially, this time of year is incredibly busy time of year for me because I commit to doing my December daily every day. And then also, it's a lot of product development that's happening right now. So um, I often don't slow down enough in December and really kind of take in and enjoy the magic of the season. And this photo, when I walked into our living room the other day, the other morning, it was just the sun was shining and it was just with the Christmas tree and kind of everything. It was just beautiful. And I literally stopped me in my tracks and I'm like, oh my goodness, right? That is, oh, why is that so much bigger? I'm like, oh yeah, that is, that is why I need to slow down because, things like that, a lot of times you just walk right past, right? You walk right past. Maybe you are at the grocery store and they have a fun little display of, I don't know, your favorite Christmas candy. Oh, I know. Maybe like the the chocolate oranges. The chocolate oranges that I put in our stockings all the time. Yeah, well, all the time, every year. But really just kind of a reminder to slow down and um take notice of the season. That is one of the things that I committed to doing in December. So that photo I thought would be perfect for this list because it made me. I mean, I did. I noticed it. I stopped and I went, holy cow. And then I took a picture of it. Now, my list, some of my lists have photos and some of them don't. There are no rules to what we do. If you are traditionally a scrapbooker or a memory keeper and you like to add photos to your projects, great, add photos. If you normally don't do any kind of photos, maybe you're a planner and somehow you found out about me and you're interested in this creative listing, but normally you don't use photos at all in any of your things, don't use photos, right? You do you. You get to decide what works for you. So two of my lists today will have photos and one won't. Sometimes I find that I need to make it a little bit shorter. Sometimes I find that if I feel like I need to have a photo that stops me or photos, it stops me from actually doing something. So we don't want that to happen to us, right? We don't want the fact that we don't have a photo or we don't want to take the time or we don't have, we didn't print a photo ahead of time or we don't have a photo that would work for what we want. We'd never want that to stop us from, working on something like this. So, all right, I've completely trimmed that down. That is roughly a 5 by 8.25 inch photo, 5 wide, 8.25 tall, because that is the height and width of my traveler's notebook inserts. We're using my Lail by Mail traveler's notebook insert, and those are standard wide. So standard is 8.25 inches tall. Wide is 5. Standard wide. So just a little bit wider. I rounded the corners, top and bottom right, because the corners of my inserts are rounded. So I like that to kind of be rounded right there. And now I'm just going to go ahead and adhere that. So that is a full size photo, right? I 99 point, well, not okay, probably 95%, let's say 95% of my photos that I am printing for my traveler's notebooks, I am printing with the Epson PictureMate PM400. That one prints 5x7s, 4x6s, and 3.5x5s. That is obviously not this size. This is a 5x8.25. So I use another Epson printer. It's a wide format printer, but that one I printed on an 8.5x11 and then just trimmed down. All right, so that is what I did there. Now on to over here. So things I commit to doing in December. I am starting out with stars on this left side. All right, I am starting out with stars. So let's talk about the star die cuts for a minute. This is actually a make and take I did for Three Craft Chicks for their virtual Christmas extravaganza. But that'll kind of give you an idea what one of the things you could do with those little star dies. When you cut out the stars, you end up with a the negative, which would be the outside, right? And then you end up with the positive or the piece that comes out of the outside, right? So that is what you end up with. Now, in this case, I layered with pop dots, the large in the large, medium in the medium, small in the small. But the other thing that you could do with these is to take a large outside and then come in with the medium inside, right? So lots of different things that you could do with these little guys. These, when it comes to Christmas time, the star dies are great for Christmas, right? But then you can use stars, all throughout the year. They don't have to just be for Christmas. So what I thought I would do, and I'm going to get out some different paper, but what I thought I would do would be to come in here and just kind of do, I think, some stars over here, just kind of like this. All right. So what I'm going to need, I am going to need to cut a couple more of these. I had these cut from when we first released the stars. So I just have to figure out what I want to do. And then we'll cut some. No, no, you know what? I think I'm going to like the outline. I think I'm going to like this outline a little bit. And so maybe we just end up with, a couple kind of going along the edge like that. So let's see what we get there. Um, One thing I am going to do, I am, I need to do some stamping here. And I am going to opt to do this whole page on a separate piece of paper, even though you're going to look at it and think, Lael, why are you not doing it here? Why are you taking a piece of paper that looks almost exactly the same and then putting it on top of there? The reason I'm going to do that is because when we get to towards the end of our traveler's notebook, right? Um, I mean, that's pretty chunky, right? That's pretty chunky. So if I am trying to stamp directly on this because there's so much that has happened already, it makes it just a little bit harder, right? So I am opting for taking this piece. I will do everything on this piece and then go ahead and adhere it. All right. Let's see. Hello, Mariposa. Uh, Loves my Griffin on more said, great dice set. I love you. Get 2 for 1. All right. So hold on a minute. Loves my Griffin on more. Is that a Brussels Griffin I see in your picture? Is that a Brussels Griffin? Mom, are you still on here? Because guess what? My mother has had Brussels Griffins forever. My mom and my sister both volunteer for the Brussels Griffin Rescue Society. And when I say volunteer, my sister does their website and my mom does, oh my gosh, it's probably like a full-time job. I love that. That's so fun. All right, Mom, are you still here? If you are, you need to listen. You need to hear that. How cool. I love that. All right. So I am going to, I just trimmed that down. All right. So I trimmed that to 4 3/4. It'll just give me a little bit of a white border all around. It's so funny when I saw when it said loves my Griffin, I didn't even notice. But then I looked and I'm like, I recognize that little face. I know that's a Brussels Griffin. That's so fun. So fun. That's a dog. All right. So let's go ahead and round those. All right. We're going to, these will hang off a little bit off the side. I think I might like them to hang a little bit off the side. I don't know if I want them to overlap. Maybe, maybe. So now we need some more, right? We need some more pattern. So let's go to, boy, all of my, this is my whole pouch full of Dear December. Lots of things here, right? So that would be fun. That something like that. So when you're using the outside of the die, right? The outside of the die, you need to be thinking about the pattern that you're using. So this would work really well for the outside. This not so much. This would be probably it might be okay on the inside, but we wouldn't be able to see enough of the pattern. So with an outline die like that, you're looking for something that has a little bit more solid pattern to it. Let me just get all these out here and let's see what we want to see. Oh, the thing just came out on the floor. All right. So we've used that one before. That red I used last week. That was from Vicky's collection. So we might use maybe a little bit of that. This one, I think this one would be fun to use too. So you know what? We really only need, I don't know, one, two, three, four or five. So let's do, I think that'll probably be good. The only other thing I might want to do is I might want to black. So let me just see here real quick. Do I have one? Where's my black cardstock? All right, I'm here. I'm still here. Oh, there we go. There's some. I'm still here. All right. So let's clear out some room here. Bring our die cut machine in. I think some of you have been asking for die cut machines for Christmas. We are selling lots of the die cut machines right now. And I won't tell you if you asked for one if someone got you one because I probably don't know. I usually can tell because I get an order from a man, and that's just, very general because I don't have a lot of male customers. Usually it's an order from a man and he's never ordered before. And he's ordering one of these. And I think, oh, I bet someone is getting for Christmas. So this is an Anna Griffin Empress Mini. Whoopsie. Sorry about that. An Empress Mini. This is a little mini die cut machine. All right. So all of my dies, all the Lail by Mail dies fit this machine. All right. And it is basically all of your die cut machines do the exact same thing. Different brands, some are electronic. This one is electronic, some are manual. The manual, you just have to kind of crank it. But the whole premise is you are taking your metal dies, so those little stars, whatever I did with those. Uh, where'd they go? I need those. Where'd they go, Lail? Okay. Oh, here they are. All right. So you're taking your metal dies and you're basically making a sandwich. Now I'm using the big one, but you know what? I might as well. Here's the thing. Even if I only want big ones right now, I might as well cut all three sizes because the next time I want to use the stars for Christmas, then I already have them done. So we're making a sandwich and we are using the metal dies, that little kind of raised edge there with the paper. And we roll that sandwich through the machine. Your die cut machines like this have really heavy, this weighs about 8 pounds, really heavy rollers. And so your sandwich it goes through the rollers and some immense pressure is applied. And that metal die is then cutting your paper. All right. So let's go ahead and make our sandwich. And I think we'll run this through. We'll run this through, I think 3 times. We'll do it once with each of the 3 colors, black being a color. All right. So there we go. As we're making our sandwich, And for those of you that are new to die cutting, I always like to use kind of this analogy because I think we can all relate to this. Um, this bottom plate is the base of our sandwich, like a piece of bread, right? So we're back in third grade. We're making a bologna sandwich in the middle of the summer. Okay. This is my piece of white Wonder Bread because that's what it was back then, right? White Wonder Bread, bottom of my plate. Next up, I have my Kraft singles. My cheese, right? You had to have cheese on your bologna sandwich, and it was a piece of Kraft singles that you unwrapped from the plastic wrapper, right? So there's my Kraft singles right there. Next up, I have my bologna. All right. So my bologna is the paper. Okay. So I'm putting the paper down. This in this machine, that is a magnetic mat. So my dies will not move because it's magnetic metal magnet. All right. So now I am just going to face down, right? You want to put these face down because the raised edge is what is going to cut. And I'll do one there and I'll do one there and I will do one right there. And then the top of my sandwich, my second piece of Wonder Bread. Okay. I have turned my machine on. I am putting that sandwich right there in the center and I hit run. And I have 6, right? I have 6 stars because I have both the outside and the inside of all of those. All right. So there we go. And now I'm going to do the same thing. You could even do something with that little piece that's left over. All right. So I need to do that also with this guy. I'm really not going to pay attention to. It doesn't really matter where um, this is, where these are placed. Sometimes with your dies, you might want to be paying attention to where you're placing the dies in relation to the pattern paper because maybe there's something that you want to make sure to get. Like this, actually, I'm really not paying attention to what the outside looks like, but this is the inside. There's a lot of white right up there in my star. So if I just rotate that a little bit, the center of my star will now show more of that fun holly pattern, right? So if I pay a little bit more attention, then like that. All right. Again, we've made our sandwich. Bring that back in, press run, and off we go. All righty. Virginia said, cutest little machine. I just can't go into the die cut. Just can't go down the die cut rabbit hole. Now, you know what's funny about that? I have never been a die cutter until Amy. And I don't know, Amy, how long have we been working together now? 3 years? Three, maybe? Right after we started working together, she said, Lael, I think we need to do die cuts. I'm like, Amy, I don't use die cuts. And she goes, no, I think we need to do die cuts. And I'm like, Amy, I don't use them. And she said, you know what? I think we can do die cuts in a way that you would use them, right? That you would use them. And that's what we do. The die cuts that I do or that we do work very well in a lot of the types of projects that we do. So they're not like multi-layer pieces. We're not trying to make a teddy bear out of 85 little die cuts in the face and different colors and things like that. Are the plates solid hard plastic on the top and bottom? And it appears the other layers in between are soft. Yes. These are solid plastic, Grace. That is like a solid piece of acrylic. And the magnetic mat is more pliable for sure. Yes, you could use the reverse die cut on the paper, right? So we could use the backside. Is that what you mean? I think. All right. So let's get these guys. And this one, I'm not paying attention to the, obviously, to the pattern at all because there really is no pattern. I mean, there's a little bit, but all righty. Off to the side. That one is definitely portable. When I travel and teach, and if it has anything to do with die cuts, I take that little machine with me. Um, all right. And really the only difference, I mean, they're all the machines do the same thing, right? They basically are cutting uh, a material, whether it's paper or something else, with the metal. Um, Some's just easier or more easier. I mean, easier uh, when it's electronic, but it's not hard to just roll them through or size, right? All right. So now we have this. Let's take a look and see. We have all of our pieces here. Where is our, what happened to my big one? Where's the big one like this? What happened to it? Gosh darn it. I know it's here, right? Did I turn it over? Did I turn it over? No, I don't know. Oh, I hate it when I do that. Right? Did it fly off my desk? Oh well. All right. Um the paper left. Oh yeah, you mean oh yes, this. You could use this, right? Absolutely. Absolutely. Okay. So now I have no clue what happened to that outer one. Because I really wanted to use it. I wanted that big one. Did I throw it? Oh, now that's going to bug me, friends. I mean, I guess I could come in and, oh, this is another funny thing. All right. You know what? I was going to use one of these too, really quick. Okay. Sorry. I'm just going to do another one. I'm going to do another one with no clue what happened. I'm going to do another one with this and with this guy again. Can I get the big one there? Pardon all of the reaching back and forth. Because as soon as I do this, I'm going to find it. You know that, right? We know that's, oh, here it is. Look, there it is. Okay, never mind. We've got him. We've got him. Okay, he was under the machine. All righty. So now, what do I want to start with? I want to start with the red. Then a black. I'm going to have to figure out how these are going to lay on top of each other and not look weird. And then a green. Reggie, get in your bucket. Come on. Pardon. Hold on. Hold on, please. Oh, please. Oh, Reggie. Well, did you want to make an appearance? Can you see him? Uh, you can see Big Shadow over here. Reg, go on, please. Golly. Cat, come on. Get in your bucket. He just wanted to say hello. He just wanted to say hello. Um, yes, I'm plugged in, Deanna. Thank you. All right. That work? And they're just kind of all, touching a little bit. We need to get them a little bit closer together here, I think. Like that. I am going to grab highlighter tape and start connecting these guys together. So this is repositionable, removable, doesn't stick. When I say doesn't stick, it won't pull things up. It won't pull off the pattern. But basically, am I all connected? Okay, I'm not connected down here. What I'm trying to do is connect all of these guys so that instead of 5 separate pieces, I can pull them up as one piece. And then they are in the position where I want them. And I can turn them all over as one piece, adhere them or add my adhesive, and then lay them back down as one piece. So that comes in really handy, that highlighter tape like that. If you have a number of different die cuts that you kind of get them where you want them, you like the way they look. And then in this case, I'd have to pick everyone back up again and then put my glue on and then set them down and try to get them where I like them without really being able to move them because they have glue on the back of them. Another way to think about it, let's say maybe you have, maybe you have a big cluster, a good cluster, not a bad cluster. Maybe you have a cluster of 5 different die cuts that you've layered and you love the way they look together. But as soon as you start peeling them off one by one, then to add adhesive to them, they'll never look the way you wanted them to look, right? So being able to connect them like that all in one piece just makes it a little bit more manageable. Okay. So press all those down, and then I will come back in and lift up all of that tape. Okay. Um, let's find our little tweezers here. Yeah, Reggie. um, did I say if you're spelling a word? Like if you, oh, I didn't. We didn't talk about that one either. If you have a bunch of die cuts, maybe die cut letters, and you've die cut a word, or even maybe you're not die cutting, but maybe you have alphabet die cuts, that come in a package or something like that, and you're spelling a word. It's much easier to lay them all down exactly where you want them. There's a little Reggie here and there. Get them down the way you want them, and then kind of connect them all with highlighter tape, and then adhere them and pull the tape back up. Um, so you can ish do this with washi tape, but caution, caution, because sometimes, depending on the washi, and sometimes depending on the paper, it will actually pull off a layer of your paper or your pattern. All right. So just kind of have to be mindful of that. Now, do we think we might want to do this? I mean, I suppose we could do that in a maybe, I don't know, in a couple. That's a small one. I don't know if I want to do that. I might just want to keep it plain. Let's see if we just add a couple. Oh no, that's the size. We need the medium size. That's the medium size right there. I don't know. I think I like it better without. I think I like it better without. Now, I am noticing one thing that I think I might need to do. This guy now in hindsight, maybe not the best one to use, right? Because there's so much white that it kind of gets lost on the white background. So I think what I may do here is just come in and draw a black line around all of these. I don't need to do it around the black one, obviously, but I think that may, especially that little guy, help just to stand out a little bit on the background. And we can do that fast. What is on your agenda for this Saturday? Are you decorated? Do you decorate? Do you celebrate, right? Some people don't celebrate Christmas. You may be celebrating another holiday, maybe Hanukkah, or maybe just, no holiday. It's just a regular Saturday in your world, which is totally good, right? What are you doing? Are you decorating? Are you cooking? Are you watching Hallmark Christmas movies, college football, going ice skating, drinking hot chocolate, still hanging out in your pajamas, which I'm jealous. That would be fun. All right. So I think that really just makes them pop. And you know me and my outlining. I think outlining makes everything pop. I will be coming in though and um, removing the parts that are bleeding off the edge. Okay. Because I don't like things to stick out the edge of my traveler's notebook because they will just get hammered, right? They're just going to get hammered. So they'll bend and they won't. So that's what I do. We'll come back in and they're bleeding off the edge. We're going to make them We're cutting them. Pardon me. All right, there we go. Now we need to, all these little guys, though, right? All these little guys that I have left over, those will go in a little envelope because I need to use those, right? I can do something with those later. Look how cute. Look what's here. Do, 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 do. Little squirrel. All right. Let's see. What are we doing today? I'm going to take a quick break. I'm going to have a quick hydration break. So hydrate. Um, Hello, Steph. Mm, Muy bien. ¿Y tú? And then that's all. If you now start talking to me more in Spanish, I don't know what you're saying. Vacation Spanish, I have. Um, Wanda's behind because she's been sick. She's feeling better. Vikaj is going to the local tree lighting after class. No ice skating for Wanda. Everything else I said. Oh, Shannon's ahead of the game. She's wrapping presents. Sarah's still in her pajamas. I love that, Sarah. That sounds fabulous. Decorating's done. Tree is up. Joyce is going shopping. Two Beagles is watching phone from the parking lot where her son is trying out for middle school honor band. Oh, I hope we'll all send good thoughts for him. Um, oh, that would be fun. Marion. Okay, Marion said, I think a picture of people's faces, family, friends, or pets, and the star die cut would be cute, right? So you can die cut photos, right? That would be really fun. You would end up with kind of little photos there. That would be fun. That's a fun idea. All right, now we got to outline this because. This list topic is things I am committing to doing in December. Are you committing to doing anything in December? And this is not like a resolutions list. This is for me, it's not. Maybe it could be for you, but for me, it is not a resolutions list. So this is going over here. Now we have an there's nothing I can do about this, but those are dark navy chairs in our living room. They're looking bluer than they are. And then this is a really dark gray. But this is very much kind of presenting blue, right? So I need to do something over here to I don't know, maybe what if we do something like this over here? No, that doesn't work over there. I don't like that. What if we do something like that? No, we'll use some of our die cuts from the collection. So we'll come back to that in a minute. We need our title. Um, and really what I want to focus on is the word commit. All right. And then I will write the rest of the title. So let's look at some alphas. Sorry, said I wasn't going to say sorry. I keep clearing my throat. I think Reggie Alpha is probably going to work well um, because we need something smaller. Although I could do this one. Maybe we'll do Poe. Incidentally, Reggie, our cat, Poe, our last cat. All of our alphas, except for the first one, named after cats. Well, now actually not cats, now pets in our family because um, one of my mom's dogs, the last Brussels Griffin she had, Murphy is one of the stamp sets, and then there's one coming of her current dog, Frankie. Okay, let me pull this out, and I think we can use the larger size, right? So let me grab something to put the stamps on. I'm going to pull all of them off. All right. These guys moved a bit. Okay, commit. C O M M I T. I'm going all lowercase. All right. So now that little A keeps falling off. Um, Here's a little trick with your stamps. If you have stamps that are no longer wanting to stick to the sheet, or not wanting to stick to your stamping block, that means they're dirty on the back. That means there's a little bit of lint or hair or dust on the back, just clean it off and then it's fine. All right. Did someone see Kathy? Did Lael did see someone outline things, or did you just inherently know that's what you needed to do? Kathy, I've been outlining literally 20 some odd years. I don't know. I don't remember. It's been so long. If I saw somebody do it, um, it just always feels to me like you need some little something to kind of frame things in. All right. So with my letters, when I am stamping, I am stamping with, there we go. I am stamping with a single stamping block. So, or excuse me, single stamping block, but I do not stamp. I don't put all the letters on one block and just stamp once. The reason for that is I'm a bit of a control freak. I like to um, have my letters pretty close together. And if I am putting them all on one block at the same time, like if I were to spell commit right here, I wouldn't be able to get my letters as close as I wanted because there's a little bit of padding of the stamp material around each letter. All right. So if we come here, things, let's see, what am I saying? Things I, things I'm, no, things I commit. I don't want to write committing. Um, things I commit to in December. All right. So, uh, ooh, what do we want to use? Do we want black? We want black, or do we want maybe like a green? Let's look. Let's see. Green, yeah, not mode lawn. Rustic wilderness? I don't know. Rustic wilderness, then, I mean, that's pretty dark, right? I don't know. I don't think I want to do red. I don't think I want to do red. Hi, honey. What are you doing?
I'm gonna go meet Scott for lunch.
Oh, Scott back?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Have fun. Hey, do you want to bring me back some lunch?
What do you want?
Well, I don't know where you're going. Just, you know what I like. Oh, chicken noodle soup, please.
What did you think?
Chicken noodle and a roll, please. Okay. Thank you guys. Thank you. Just ordering my lunch. Rustic wilderness. So I don't know. Here's the thing. Really, and I think I need to come back to this side because if I go with something green like this, then that would not be the right green, right? Maybe I kind of like it in the middle. I kind of like that in the middle of the room. And if I do that, then I can't use that green because that green is way off from there. And I think green wise, I don't know, mowed lawn is pretty. Mowed lawn's not really it. So we could do a red, I suppose. No, I'm not. I know I'm not gonna. We'll do it in black because I know I won't like the red side by side. So let's do this. We're gonna vote. Do we like this here in the corner? I've missed all kinds of things in the chat. I've been way too, I'm like focused. Do we like this in the corner? Do we like it in the center? I kind of like that in the center. What do we think? Corner. Virginia liked the black star in the room. Virginia liked this black star in the room, right? Now, what we could do something like take a little black star. If we like the black star, little black star could go right there. What do we think? Corner, corner, corner. Oh, well, guess what? Fireplace is too pretty. All right. Pretty much everyone says corner. Corner. All right. If that goes there, then we could do our little star there, but that little star kind of gets lost, right? Maybe we need to not do a star. Maybe we need to do, I don't know, something like, no, that gets lost too. Nope, too much star, right? Well, we could do something like this little guy. This is from the die cuts. Little star like that. Oh, wait, what about this? What if this goes up here? I don't know. That just seems very forced. It's just going to go here. I'm just going to do it. Just I'll do it, move on. Right? Do it, and move on. Sometimes, right? Sometimes we just mess with things too much and then so it's just going to go here and we're going to what did Barney say? Something and don't throw a fit, right? Was that Barney? I don't know. Did Barney say that? That can go there. Well, no. Okay. Stop it. Stop it, Lil. Stop it. Big star, no words. Oh, yeah. Big star, no words. Yeah. We got it. It's there. Now I am also outlining the photo. And here's the thing when it comes to outlining photo or writing on a photo. Slick surface. You do not want to use a regular pen, even a Sharpie. You don't want to use a regular pen because they are not designed to write on a slick surface. This guy, that is a Zig Photo Signature pen that is designed to write on slick surface. If you've ever tried to write on a photo before and your pen completely dies, it's because it's not meant to be used on a slick surface. So, all right, we'll get there. We'll get there. All right, let's go back to this. And we are doing this in black now because that's what needs to happen. Let me get out my black ink. Move my fan in because I'm very hot again. And we're going to do our little testing over here. I say you should always, 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 always test. Always test before you stamp. All right. You will never regret that. Ever, ever, ever. So when you test, you're testing for a couple different things. Number one, do you like the color of ink? Now, this is black, so it is what it is. But maybe you picked out a red and you don't like, it's not the right red or something. So test. Maybe your stamp's dirty. Maybe it has a little lint or hair in it or something. If there is anything on your stamp, the ink will not stick. And so when you go to stamp, whatever was on your stamp, there will be no ink there. So if you have a big old cat hair because you were at Lael's house, you want to make sure that you test first. The other thing I need to do is I like my stamps to be really close together. But look what happens if I did them too close together because I would have done that and went, uh-oh, that looks like an 8 on its side or an infinity symbol. So I need to make sure I'm a little bit further away. Okay. I'm also cleaning after every time just because much easier to clean when they're wet. Another thing that I have found makes life much easier when you are stamping is right size your stamping block to your stamp. All right. Do you see how I have a little stamping block? That's much easier for me to handle than a giant stamping block and that where that little guy is floating in the center. All right. Oh, guess what's going to happen? I'm going to be pretty close here. I probably should have been a little bit further over to the edge. Oh, well, is what it is. I should have been more over here. Or I could have started with the T on the end, and then that would have been a great way to make sure that I had enough room. But my little eye can kind of squeeze in there, so I'll be fine. So, are there things that you are committing to do this month? And again, you get to decide what that means. For me, this is not like a resolution. This isn't like I'm committing to, well, there's one or two things on there, but um, are you committing to doing things this month? And they can be fun things. Maybe you're committing to watch every single brand new Hallmark Christmas movie. Maybe you're committing to watch your 5 top Christmas movies. Maybe you're committing to turning off the TV and listening to Christmas music by the fire. Maybe you're committing to give yourself permission to rest, right? We get to decide. Uh, things I things I commit to this December. Okay. Now we're going to do just a little separator here. All right. Now we need something a little. We could come in with some color over here. I have some little stars if we wanted. I think I have some little snowflakes, little candy cane. That would be cute over there. But I keep having to remember, excuse me, to bring this in to see what we're doing over here. I don't like this here because then it's really kind of a lot on the bottom. Much as I like that little candy cane, it's not going to get used. So let me find some of my little guys. My little die cuts. Ooh, that was on something hot. Move this out of the way. Now, what would have been fun, maybe if I had done that in black and white, then I wouldn't kind of be fighting with some of the color. But then you'd lose. I mean, I would lose a lot of the beauty. So I've just shoved a whole bunch of different die cuts from Dear December in this pack. So there are 4 different packs of die cuts in Dear December. There are um, die cut words, die cut icons, die cut titles, and die cut numbers. So I'm just looking for some of the little, oops, I already had that guy. Some of the smaller guys that I could maybe work in to add some color over on uh over by our little over by our, what am I saying? Over by our stars. There we go. Over by the stars. Okay. Oopsie, forgot that those were not tacked down. I think we need something there, but I don't think we want the black and white. I don't know if that guy is it. Maybe. So I'm just popping some things down. And I don't know if they're going to stay. I'm not sure that I like that. That can't go there. Nope. I think we'll do that guy right there. And then we're going to leave all those guys alone. It just was getting too much. It was just getting a little crazy in there. Virginia, I don't understand how folks can cut out a shape using a die cut machine, but not a die cut piece. So I don't know if I'm understanding your question, Virginia. What do you mean when you say a die cut piece? Do you mean like this being a die cut piece? Is that what you mean? Before I try to jump in and answer, I want to make sure I understand what you're asking. All right. Okay. I need a bullet stamp because I am going to write the things that I am committing to this December. And it's going to be a run on. So I need something to separate each of the items on my list. And so I am going to grab the mini icons, the Dear December mini icons. So all those little icons. And what would I like to use? I think I will use, I'm going to try, I'm going to try this one. We're going to see what this looks like. Um, is there a popcorn box die cut in those die cuts? There is not a popcorn box die cuts in these die cuts. There is a popcorn box. There is a popcorn box stamp in the things to do stamp set. It's part of movies to see. But you could, if you have that stamp set, you could just mask this off. So you'd ink up the stamp and then put a sticky down where you didn't want movies to see to stamp, and then you just have your little popcorn stamp. Or you could also cut it off if you were stamping on a piece of paper and then putting it down. Let's see. Virginia, I mean the die cut shape that often comes with a stamp. You saw a lady cut a snowflake with no die cut metal piece. Um, I don't know, Virginia. I'm not sure I'm understanding. Amy is very good at die cut. She might be able to understand and answer. So Steph, you know what? The light blue. I don't think so. There's not a lot of light blue in Dear December, right? Um, I'll look for something later and see if I have something light blue. Um, well, or you know what I could do? Let's see. All right, I'm now all over the place. Um, I want to do something with that candy cane, so I'm going to pull a red. Red. I'm going to pull festive berries. I think festive berries would be cute. All right, so let's see what this looks like. Let's see. Here we go. So candy cane is really cute because if you use red, then the non-stamped part is white and it looks like a cute little candy cane. So let's see if we like this as a bullet. It might be too big. We might have to do something a little bit more plain. I could use a desk about 800 times this size, I think. That's pretty cute, isn't it? Look at our little candy canes. Now, is that going to be too much over here? So that was my first thought. But another thought is we could, let's see if we could find I think the blue is going to be really hard. And then I think it's just going to look kind of not right. Because that would probably be the one. I don't know. Let's see. Obviously, I wouldn't do candy cane with that. So we could go with one of the little, maybe one of the little, maybe this little star. Let's see if we like that. And then I asked a question and then I didn't look. Oh, okay. What about this? Maybe we do this one. Um, are you committing to doing something this December? The leg lamp. That's funny. Right? Snowflake, right? That's what I pulled. So let's see if we like stormy sky. It might be just enough. Let's see if we like it. Here's what I can do. I can grab a sticky note that is, I can't, translucent? Is that the right word? I don't know. So I can do this. And then we can see if we're going to like it over here. You know what? I think it works. I think that'll work. I think that'll be a good solution to kind of bring some of that blue over. So that's what we're going to use. transparent. I think it's called translucent sticky note. But sometimes I will do that if I'm not sure I'm going to like what it looks like, but I need to try to get a feel for it. Okay, off to the side again. Now we're rolling. I also have another idea that I think we could do to add just a little bit more blue in here. All right. So what am I committing to doing in December that I forgot about since we didn't do it last week? And then this morning I'm like, oh yeah, I said I was going to do that. Um, let's see, Marion, you were just using faded jeans. That's a good one too. Um, moving my body 4 days a week. I have not done that yet. I forgot. Well, I've got to write it down, even though I did write it down. That is starting today. I've made really good progress all year long on my weight, and I'm not about to, put on 10 pounds in December. So I'm going to do it. Read every day. I would like to do that. And when I get really busy, I do not do that because I feel guilty. I feel like I don't really have time to do that. Um, Another one is enjoy the daily documenting. Basically doing my December daily every day. That I really every year have to really wrap my head around because it is a lot. It is a lot, even though it's all already done. My foundation pages are already done, but to decide whatever I'm documenting, to print the photos, to do the journaling, to add whatever else I'm adding, to take photos of the project, to edit the photos, to do a blog post, to put it on social media, it is a lot. So sometimes it feels like a lot of work. So committing to really enjoying that and not make it work, make it feel like work. Um, Doing one small good deed every single day. That's important. That's important to me. I've done a few, but not every single day. So it's important to me that I do that every single day. I would like to do that. Um, consciously, consciously schedule no work pockets throughout my day. Now, sometimes my day goes to 10, 11 at night. And so it starts early and it goes to night when it relates to work. So I really need to, it's really important to me. I really want to make sure I'm scheduling pockets of the day where I don't work. So I can try to enjoy the season a little bit more, right? Um, Virginia said she commits to not gaining weight. It's taken me a year to lose 30 pounds. I'll be with my family and they're all wonderful cooks. And then the add wine, right? Exactly. And guess what, Virginia, we can enjoy the things, right? We can absolutely enjoy the things. We just have to be conscious about what we're doing. And if we move our body, then that also helps, right? So yeah, I am not, yeah, not putting on the pounds. That's definitely, um, um, in fact, not putting on the pounds by eating and drinking everything in sight. But also at the same time is enjoying the things, not not depriving myself of the things, right? Not depriving myself of those things, just kind of balance, right? All right, let's see what else. Let's see what else I am committing to on my list over here. Practicing patience. That one is a tough one. Tough, tough, tough. Um, this one I've already done. Um, Researching new equipment and software for filming. Yes. And that one I started last Saturday already. So I'm very excited about that. Um, wear the outfits, right? I have some cute clothes. I have some cute clothes. Sometimes I don't leave the house all week. But then, on Saturdays, I put on something cute. But if you have clothes, you got to wear them, right? So, wearing the cute outfits, wearing the outfits, which I have been doing. Um, this is a big one, and I have already done this. Well, it is underway. Um, how do I word this? Um, I'm just going to word it this way. It's time for a warehouse. Warehouse, friends. Warehouse. It is time to move my business out of our home and into a warehouse. So, Nick and I went and looked at some things yesterday, and the goal being, we'll see if we can make it happen after the first of the year, like in January, because it's time. Business is growing so much; it needs to get out of my house, our house, right? So yeah, very exciting. So look at all new filming, moving into a warehouse. The other one, and this is underway as well. Um, Hiring a person for photography and social media. And I have a call. I've been talking to a person about that, and now we've been talking email, and now um anyhow, I was thinking something over here. Uh I totally like went somewhere else for a minute. That was weird. Um yes, but having someone, I have so much content. I have so much content. I mean, every week I at least have 3 of these. And until everything gets shipped to Amy to photograph for the idea book. Unless I sit down and take the time to photograph it and make it look all nice, it doesn't go on social media. And it also doesn't go on the website, which it really should go on the website because then people can see more examples of what to do with some of the products. So, bringing somebody on part time to photograph all of these things and make them look nice, and then social media, put them on social media for me. So, um, part of these things are personal that I'm committing to, obviously, for the month of December. And then others are very much related to my business. Um, the warehouse one is a huge step, like huge, scary step because it's expensive. It's expensive. And then you're also signing a lease. Now, well, I shouldn't say nothing because I don't know, but my business is not going anywhere and it's continuing to grow, which is a good sign. But you sign a lease and you're just like, okay, okay. All right. So I think what we're going to do here is I think I am going to bring a little bit more blue in here. I use Stormy Sky. So I am going to come to these things. These are watercolor pencils. They are Distress Oxide watercolor pencils. I do not use these for watercolor. I use these as a colored pencil and I pull them out when I want the color. I'm just looking for Stormy Sky. When I want the color did I miss it? When I want the color of my colored pencil to match the ink. Where is it? Oh my gosh, that's hilarious. It was the very first one. All right. So, what I'm going to do with this is let's pull out Stormy Sky. And I want to pull in a little bit more blue over here. I will also do something down here, don't worry, than that little blank space. But what I'm thinking I might do here is let me grab, where'd that little extra part of the paper go that I had that I cut off? It is such a mess. If you could see it right now. Pardon my reach for a second. Where did it go? Did I put it in here? No, it's okay. I'll just grab a piece of, can't use that. That was the photo. Oh, those are all part of the photo. Well, what I would like to see, hold on. Oh, please, will I find a piece of paper? How about this? This will work. Oh, that's what I was looking for underneath me. If this is my outline, if I take the colored pencil, that is Stormy Sky. And oh, I guess that's it, right? That is interesting. That is Stormy Sky. Look at that. That is way different. I don't like that at all. That was really weird. That is so different. I've never seen it do that before when it's so different. The gray doesn't work, so now I need to find another blue. Hang tight. Because what I was thinking I would do, maybe we could try faded jeans, is just come in with the colored pencil and outline on top of that and that little area right there. And then that would help to bring in a little bit more of that blue. But that is not the right blue for sure. And I know that's Stormy Sky. So let's do this. Let's open up my swatches for my colored pencils, all of my colored pencils, and see if we can find a blue. That really bums me out that Stormy Sky is not the Stormy Sky that's not the same thing. See if I can find it. I don't, if I have another blue. That would work. Maybe this one, maybe this Prussian blue. Let's look for that. So that is Studio Series of my colored pencils. This one, Prussian blue. Um, that is, two. Wait, Persian blue, Prussian blue, Prussian blue. Um, Swatching your pencils, your pens, all of those things, it takes a little bit of time, right? But you know what? It pays off. That time is such time well spent because I would have been I would have been trying to find the perfect, not Persian, Prussian. I would have been trying to find the perfect blue. And you know what I would have done? I would have had to like swatch every single one. Now, come on. I know it has to be here. Holy moly, friends. This should not be this hard. There it is, Prussian blue. Let's see. Finding our blue. I like navy blue in my family room, but holy cow, whoever thought that navy blue would cause me so many problems? When I bought those chairs all those years ago, I never knew it was going to cause me so many problems down the road. Trying to match a blue in a photo. All right. We're just going to make it really light. And it's not perfect, but you know what? It's fine. Just add a little bit of blue that way. And I'll bring it up to the camera because you probably will have a little bit of a hard time seeing it this way. I'll bring it up to the camera. And you know what? With my new filming stuff, I'll be able to zoom. I'll just hit a button and it'll go and it'll come right down. It'll make that noise too. Not really. Okay, I've been completely ignoring the chat. So if you were telling me something, hang on. You were probably telling me the perfect color to use, and I totally missed it. That'll just help to add a little bit more color back in there. Can you see that? It's super subtle. Super subtle. Excuse me. But it will help bring in that kind of color on the other side. All right, let's get these put away. We're just about done with this list. And then as I'm cleaning up, well, let's just might as well talk about it now. Let's talk about our first giveaway. First giveaway. How about if we do a Dear December paper pack? Dear December paper pack. So, the way that we do the giveaways, this is a live giveaway, and that takes place in the chat, which means you want to start chatting in the chat right now because I will get this finished up and added into the insert and then see if there's one more thing I need to add. And then I will stop and we'll do that giveaway. And what I do is I just scroll my finger right up in the chat. Wherever my finger stops, that's the person that wins. All right, I like that blue. I think that was a good suggestion, adding that blue because it helps to kind of bring it all in together. All right. And there is so much going on in this photo. I think that on this side, by doing just the outline of the stars, it really helps to kind of balance it out. I think if we had used a lot of this, like if we had used solid stars, I think it would have just been too much. It just would have been way too much. So going pretty clean over here balances with all that's going on in that photo. All right, so what I need to do, I'm going to grab some different adhesive. When you get so deep in your traveler's notebook, um, this edge has a hard time staying down. Has a hard time staying down because this wants to lift, right? Gravity wants to take effect. So I'm going to use some really strong Suquang double-sided tape. And if I do that along that edge, and then now I usually just do it along the whole thing, but doing it along that edge will make sure that it does not pop. Your regular adhesive is not strong enough to hold it with that curve right now. All right, so there we go. And I am going to, let's see, just reveal a little bit of the sticky. That release paper, I'm just going to peel off a little bit. So sticky and then release paper still on. And then that part of the release paper is hanging off the edge. The reason I do that, your double-sided tape like this is really strong, which is really nice, right? That's why we're using it here because we need strong adhesive. But it's also really strong. So basically, you've got one shot. It's kind of like M&M. You've got one shot to get that straight. If it's not straight, it's so sticky that it just has to be where it is. You can't get it back off again. It just makes a mess. So by just revealing a little bit of the sticky, that gives me a little bit of wiggle room. Okay, so I can come in here, kind of set that down. How are we looking? Move it in over here a little bit. How are we looking? I never would have been able to move that around like that if I did not had not revealed, or if I had revealed all the sticky. So now all I'm doing is peeling those little pieces out, that little release paper. And there is our list. All right. Things I commit to this December. Here I am going to put a little word strip sticker. I feel like I need a little bit of color there, and I think I will add a red one. So, word strip stickers from Dear December are obviously a Christmas holiday, right? So, let's see. Oh, this could be good. Making a list, checking it twice. I think that may be the one we go with. Now, uh, one issue with this guy is it's pretty wide, right? It really doesn't fit here. Well, let's see. It does if it goes over that last little guy. So, where'd my tweezers go? Where are my tweezers? Oh, here we go. Let's see. If we stick this down, I am just going to have it go over that little guy. It just a little bit went over that last snowflake, but it fits perfectly there. Having that little pop of color right there. And then making a list, checking it twice, right? Because this is a list of things that I commit to doing this December. All right, Santa will be proud of me. All righty. So, are we good? I think we're good. I think we're good. I just am going to add the date now. So we'll just do this. Right little here and this little star. We'll just do 12.25, meaning that's December 2025. All right, it's done. It's done. Okay. I'm not going to, well, I need to put these things off to the side for now because our next list has nothing to do with Christmas. It is about last month for the month of November. So let me just get these things kind of pushed off to the side. And then let me put the colored pencils away and we'll do our giveaway and then we'll move on to our next list. And then our third list will be back to Christmas, December. All right. Let's just move some of these things out of the way. And then we'll pick them back up again in a bit. In a bit. And then we'll do our little giveaway for a Dear December paper pack. All right. Easy cleanup. Okay. So our winner of the Dear December paper pack is stopping. Margie Tackett 5260. Margie. Congratulations, Margie. Margie Tackett 5260. DD paper pack. Margie, please send an email to lailbymail@gmail.com. In the subject line, please put winner, Dear December paper pack. And then in the body of the email, please include your name and mailing address. And the team will get that off to you late this week. All right. Thank you. Thanks for playing. Don't worry, there's more giveaways. We'll do another one for sure. All right. So now our next list. Oh, very quickly. If you had written something in the chat, and I would have missed it. Okay, I totally would have missed it with all of that going on. So, if you typed something in the chat and you would like me to see it, if you would please type it again, and then I will see it. And then if you would, if you want to put it in uppercase, that also will make it much easier for me to see. All right. All right. Our second list is a list that we have been doing since August of 2020. So we've been doing it every month since August of 2020. So for the last 5+ years. And it is a list called About Last Month. So we are doing the About Last Month list. Hang on. For the month of, hold on. I need to grab something across the room. For the month of November. All right, about last month for the month of November. This list is a great way to recap a month. All right, about last month or month in review, right? Just a great way to recap a month. Let me get these little guys put away. What is my favorite red ink? Oh, Virginia, that is really hard. My favorite inks are Distress Oxides. When it comes to red, there are so many different shades of red, and you kind of think, oh, I need a red ink. Well, when you look at the different shades, oh, here we go. When you look at the different shades of red, let's come in here, and I've just swatched all of my ink colors because then when I'm looking for red, it's much easier to do this and get all my reds out. So Candied Apple is a little bit more orange, especially like when you see that next to my sweater, right? And then Barn Door. Barn Door definitely has more, less, less orange, kind of a little bit more blue to it a little bit. Crackling Campfire, way orange. Festive Berries, I would say probably when it comes to Christmas, I probably use Festive Berries, but that is in relation to something like that, right? That's a good kind of bright, strong red. But there are so many different color reds in, different paper patterns, different pattern paper. Like that is totally different. This needs to have a little bit more blue in it, right? Lumberjack Plaid. Actually, this has a little bit more orange in it. Fired Brick. Fired Brick is a little darker, but so it's a hard one. That didn't really help you, right? I would say, but for Christmas, most often, I probably use Festive Berries, but that's because I'm using Christmas product that's kind of a brighter red like that. Okay. Oh yes, about last month. About last month. Um, more than 5 years we've been doing. Is that like that? Get in here. And it's a great way to recap your month. So let me just show the about last month that we did. It's not the last one. This is September. So October is, well, I know where October is. Don't worry. Um, Basically, whenever I do about last month, I have photos and I have a run on list. All year long for the entire year, I'm using the same stamp set. So for this year, 2025, I am using the 2025 about last month stamp set. I basically stamp, put photos over here in one way or the other, add a couple of embellishments or stickers. It just depends, and then write my list. All right. So for this month, I am using the Autumn Archives collection from Kelly Bangs for Spellbinders. Um, I am going to do something that I rarely do. Normally, when I'm doing an about last month list, I am stamping directly on the page over here. All right. But I think I'm going to end up doing the same thing that I did here. Here, it just makes it a little bit harder to do my work over here because I'm at the end, right? So I am going to do all of my stamping again on a piece of, it's pattern, but not really. It is, what did I do with it? It's going to be the white grid that I used on the last one. And that'll just give me, oh, there it is. I put it away where I should. That will just give me, it'll just make it easier for me to do my stamping on that. So in this pattern, that is the white grid, a little bit, that's kind of a light blue. And then there is a lined version, and those come in 6x8 and also 12x12. But that'll just make it way easier for me to do my stamping. Um, because it just will be hard. It will be hard because there's so much that's already happened in my insert. All right, so my photos. Um, when I am printing my photos for about last month, I am generally printing them in the, I don't know where that went. Using my Epson PictureMate PM400 printer. That printer, I mentioned that a little bit earlier, it prints 5x7s, 4x6, and 3.5x5s. The power behind that printer, in my opinion, really comes into play. Zen Girls said, isn't about last month the same as what you'd put in year in review? That is a great question. Absolutely. Absolutely. So what most people do, Zen Girls, is if they do my year in review kit with me, they are doing it in their year in review kit every month. So it's this, right? But I don't do this. I just do it in my traveler's notebook insert, like every other list that I do. The reason I don't do it in this project is because every time that I would pull this out on a Saturday like today, and people would be like, well, wait a minute, where are those things? And what are you doing? And I'd be like, well, this was a project kit that has been sold out for a long time. So they are the exact same thing. It's just that I don't use the kit, the year in review kit, to do my year in review. And I don't put my year in review or my about last month's all in the same insert. They just get worked into my insert that I use for all of my lists. Hopefully that makes sense. That is not an uncommon question, which I guess it's kind of a double negative. That's a common question. That is a common question. Oh, yeah. And you know what? She said, thank goodness that's how I use my year in review. If you purchase the year in review project kit, that's what everyone does that purchase that kit. I just don't do it that way because it would, every time we did about last month, it would create a lot of questions. And I'd be like, oh, sorry, that's a, yeah. So this is the way I do it. All right. What I was saying, the when I print my photos, the Epson PictureMate PM400, the power, in my opinion, behind that printer is just as much the app, the free app, the Epson Creative Print app, as the printer itself, because the app lets you do some really cool things like this. There are pre-configured templates that you can choose. This pre-configured template I chose was 3 across and 3 down. I just didn't put a photo right there because I want to decorate that. So this is a great way to either have one photo with a whole bunch of small photos, or what some people will do, they will do this and then cut it up. They might cut it up in strips. And if you cut it up in strips, that gives you kind of the effect of a photo booth strip like that. Or some people will just cut them up in individual pieces, and then those individual pieces would be your small photos. But for this month, for me, I'm going to use this whole, and I will decorate that part. All right. So let's grab, I need to grab my trimmer, and I know that because this is 5x7. This is 5x8.25. So you would think I would just be able to take my photos, since this is 5 and this is 5. You think I would be able to do this. But usually, actually, it's going to be okay this time. Sometimes I have to trim a little bit of the width because you lose a couple millimeters in the center from the staples. Hello, my friend Vicky Booten. What are you doing? You came to say hi to us? That's fun. I missed your live last night. We went to see a comedian last night. We had loads of fun. I'm gonna have to go back and watch your live, Vicky. If you don't know my friend Vicky Booten, you need to know my friend Vicky Booten. She's pretty awesome. She's also an incredibly talented artist. Incredibly talented. Mixed media, kind of like I do mixed media, right? I'm just like that. I do mixed media just like Vicky in my dreams. Although Vicky, I did do some mixed media last week. Look what I did. I made snow. She's like, "Mm, wow, that's pretty impressive, Lael." Yeah, you guys know I don't do mixed media at all. Okay, so started out with my photo. Now, I am going to kind of pick a color palette. November is always really hard for me to do. Christmas is vomiting all over your house. Oh, I love that. That sounds like so much fun, right? Sounds like so much fun. Um, Yeah, I know. Susan's laughing. Lael and mixed media. That's a good one. I could be a comedian, huh? I could be Nate Bargatze. Anyhow, so November is always hard for me. The reason why November is hard in terms of photos is I do a lot of holiday teaching in November. And if I'm doing a lot of holiday teaching in November, usually there's a lot of red and green in these photos, which kind of doesn't work for November. So the photos I picked, I purposefully tried to make sure there wasn't a lot of red and green in there. So I'll talk about the photos and then you'll hear them on my list too. I taught at an event, the Lizzie Lou Christmas Bash. That was our 9th annual. So that is a photo from that. I also taught at the Three Craft Chicks virtual Christmas extravaganza. That is a photo from that. You might recognize, if you know Doodlebug, you might recognize these two ladies. Well, you recognize that cat because that's Reggie. Cynthia and Allison. Cynthia owns Doodlebug. Um, this is in my house. They were also teaching. Cynthia was also teaching virtually at that event. And the first night after I did my make and take, I get a text from Cynthia. Lael, are you home? And I'm like, yeah. And she goes, okay, we're coming to your house. And I'm like, what? She and Allison jumped in the car. They came over and brought me this Doodlebug Christmas shirt so that I could wear that for the rest of the weekend, which was so fun. It was so nice. So I'm like, Nick, take a picture of us, right? Because you need all the pictures. This one, you know what, came back again in November, the Northern Lights, right? Northern Lights. So Nick was out of town. I was not feeling well, but I said, I'm not going to miss this. So I got in the car all by myself and drove up the canyon. And Northern Lights, right? Just beautiful. Nick and I went to a Jazz game against the Lakers. While Jack, our older son, and his fiance were in town, we went to this amazing bookstore. Our sons, Jack and Sam. This was so fun. Nick had his 60th birthday last Sunday. So Saturday, we had some people over and dinner. And Jack and Nick and I were shopping with Jack and his fiance. We went to breakfast and then we're doing some shopping. We went to the record store, and who happens to be in the record store? Sam, our younger son, and his girlfriend buying. Um, his girlfriend was buying Nick a record for his birthday. So those are my photos. Some of the things that will be on my list for the month. So color palette. I mean, I have there's some pinks in here, right? I mean, the pink in the sky, kind of the reddish in Jack's shirt. So really, I'm just going to figure out what I'm going to work with. All right. So it is November. I think I would like to have some little trees, maybe, right? Maybe some trees. Little sweater here. Oh, the thing I wanted to mention about this collection, the Autumn Archives collection. This is the last time I will be using it. I've used it probably 4 or 5 times so far this year. Yesterday I put it on sale. Everything in that collection is 35% off. So really good price. So if you are thinking you need a really good, fun, kind of autumn fall collection, you should look at it on the website. Um, I don't know, the sweater's kind of cute. I kind of like the sweater. There are these little boots. Now I'm kind of going down this whole little path here of maybe, I don't know, we'll see. Sweater and little boots, and I mean, we're going to cover up part of Nick that way. I don't know. Nick might not want to be covered up. He doesn't care. What I should have done, I should have put that bookstore photo there. Look at this. Look at this bookstore. How cool is that? Like that is old. This is a place called Trolley Square. It was an old train station. And that is like exposed brick on the walls. But they have the runner with the ladders, and you can, to get up to the higher books. That's kind of cool. But I should have put that here because then I could have covered part of that up or that there and not Nick. But we'll make it work. It'll be fine. We'll make it work. We just may not be able to use this little sweater now because I don't think it's really going to work now that I think about it. It could work over here, maybe. We have some little leaves. Maybe we throw some leaves in there. There's a cute little mushroom in here. Kind of pull in a little bit of red, maybe. There's a cute little, oh wait, I know. There was a squirrel in here. Where's the squirrel? There's a kitty cat. Where's the squirrel? Come on. Where? Oh, here's another tree. That'd be good to have another tree. Some small leaves, little acorn, a croissant. I heart fall. Maybe something with that. Maybe those little guys. Maybe that. I don't know. We'll see. We're just pulling out whatever strikes our fancy right now. That's an old-fashioned thing to say, isn't that? Do any of you say that? Whatever strikes your fancy? I think that's probably a pretty old-fashioned. I probably just really dated myself there. That could be. Well, that's probably too much. I think we're going to just end up maybe with some trees and a couple leaves, but I know there's a squirrel. Oh, here's another tree. I might have already used the squirrel. Probably did. All right, let's kind of stick with that. See where we go from there. We've got lots of options. Maybe one of those little pumpkins. Maybe this little pink guy. Kind of also has a little bit of a loose office theme to it. What's fun about the die cut packs is you get two each of every die cut. So if you're like, oh, I don't want to use that one because it's my favorite, then you don't have to be so worried because you have two. All right. I think we are good there with some die cuts. We have a nice selection of die cuts. All right. Uh-oh. There we go. Now, these are probably all going to be too big. These are they're chipboard stickers, but they are super thin, like super, super thin. So just a little bit, almost more like a cardstock sticker. So if I wanted to, I could work. Ooh, okay. I like this color combination. This. Even though this doesn't really go with anything over here, if I pull a maroon in, I think we'll be okay. I think we want to figure out how to use this. We'll see. We'll put that guy right there so we remember. But I like that. I like the pink and orange and kind of rust together. That's a really good combination. Anything else here? These little hearts could be cute. Little hearts and little hearts. All right. Let's stick with that and see where we end up. We need some. Oh, of course, Lael, that is a sticker. You just stuck it down. We'll put that right here so we don't lose it. We need to trim this down now. So let's find our November's always a really hard one, color wise for me, just because of photos. The other one that I really struggle with is February because it seems like everything has to be red. All right, 4 3/4. Here's my little background. Now, I suppose if I hadn't already adhered that down, you know what I could have done? I could have flipped this. I could have put the photo over here and done everything over here. Then I could have just stamped over here and not have had to, yeah, a separate piece of paper. Okay. So I feel like before we get too far, I need to make the my little cluster of things in that lower corner. We'll just do this so it will want to lay flat for me. That make it easier? That'll make it a little bit easier. Still, just once you start to get to the end, you just kind of have to work with it. We just got to work with it and embrace it. Just layer some trees here. I feel like we need 3 trees. So we are in our thirds, odds versus evens. And then this little guy will be okay because, oh, actually, no, I was going to put this guy up there. I think we'll leave him here just to kind of break up those colors a little bit. This tree now is going to look much shorter, but we're not going to worry about it because we won't see the stem. We'll kind of be covering up the stem, the trunk. Trees don't have stems, they have trunks. You like that? Yeah, I think that will work. So let's grab a piece of, let's just grab this little piece that I threw over here to connect those 3 together. That's that highlighter tape again. And let's use our tape runner on the big parts. Oopsie. And then we will use the glue pen on the stem because we want to make sure that that stem is nice. Those stems, my gosh, the trunks. Why do I keep calling those stems? The trunks of the trees are nice and whoopsie secure. And now we'll put that one down like that. And then we will just cut the little parts off once we pull that highlighter tape off. All right. And that, again, the nice thing about the highlighter tape, it's not going to pull any of that pattern off. Sometimes, have you ever had that happen where you put washi or something on there and it just pulls the pattern right off and you're like, oh, shoot, that didn't work out very well, did it? That little, it's sure cute, but it just, if I have it just be on part of the page, I think that works better. So let's do this. Let's put adhesive on just part of it. My scissors. Hello, Laura. Nice to see you, friend. Laura Lee is also Rosie Posey Studio. Also design team. She's back. She has been with me. She was one of the OGs. One of the OGs. I had two. I don't know. That's been maybe 3 years ago. Um, two OG design team members, and Laura Lee was one of them. Rosie Posey Studio. So she has been on and off with me. I just tell her anytime you want to come back, anytime you want to play, you just yell, and she's back. So very excited about that. I think we should put Little Leaf right there. She is also on Vicky's creative team. In the sky. That's funny. You were going to do a deep dive to see where you can see Northern Lights, dude. Okay. I shouldn't call her dude, but Vicky lives in Canada, so north of Buffalo. Okay, north of Buffalo, New York. So you're in a good spot, friend, to be seeing that kind of stuff. You just need to go. You need to not have light pollution. All right. We don't want any light pollution. So you have to go somewhere in the sticks. You need to be in the sticks somewhere. Okay. In the sticks with no light. That is the key. I'm sure if you Google dark sky zone near me, that's what you want. You need a dark sky zone. Light pollution is makes it very difficult to see northern lights, but you are far north. Vicki, if you remind me, there's also an app. If you send me an email, send me a text, not an email. But there's an app that you can track northern lights. But usually, I mean, we're in a period right now. They say like about 5 years. We're in this period. It started last year of high geomagnetic. I think. Don't quote me on that. Geomagnetic. I don't know what exactly it is, but where there's a lot of magnet. I don't know happening in the. Okay, we're in a time where it's going to be a lot of it over the next 5 years. How about that? Someone else can explain it much better than I could. But yes, so you're in luck. You just got to look for it, watch for it. I think so. I really liked this, but guess what? Actually, you know what? I think it's okay. I was worried about the pink, but I think the pink's going to be fine. So we're going to still work with our piece that was going down there. That is, so Northern Lights had been on my bucket list for, I mean, forever. Ever, ever, ever. I did a bucket list, like literally decorated a bucket list probably 8 or 9 years ago. And on there, Northern Lights. And I never thought I would see Northern Lights here. I thought we'd have to travel, halfway around the world, which we still will. We still will because I would still like to go to Iceland. But it takes a lot of the pressure off now, right? Because if I've already seen them, and I've seen them several times, but that is seriously core memory. Like honestly, one of the most amazing, incredible things I've ever experienced was May of last year. Was really the first time that they were like seen in the like lower part of the United States. Well, I shouldn't say first time ever, but all right. So we've kind of picked our color palette, right? And really, these don't really have anything to do with some of this, but you know what? It is what it is. There's red here, there's all that pink there. It is what it is. We're going to pull in a little bit of pink though. I love this color combination, the pink and the orange and the rust. So let's look for um pink, pink, pink. We are probably looking at probably spun sugar. Now, spun sugar, I'm going to have an issue with. I already know. Maybe spun sugar, and I'll explain why in a minute. Then we need an orange, spiced marmalade. Okay, those two right at the bat. Spun sugar, spiced marmalade. I love the combination of. Huh? Where is? Okay, hold on. Let me look again. Where is spun sugar? Oh, there it is. Woo, almost panicked for a minute. I love this combination. The pink and orange together. Love, love, love so much. Um, Nancy, you are heading to Finland on Wednesday because it's a bucket list. Have an amazing trip. Amazing trip. Amazing, amazing. Mariposa, guess what? They're still coming. So Northern Lights are still coming. Um, Vicky, we need way more pinks. Or both of you, Vicky and Laura. I agree. We need more pink. All right. Now the rusty. I'm gonna say rusty hinge, maybe. Let's see. Yee, no. So not rusty hinge. We need something a little bit more rusty. So what's that going to be? Because those are too close, right? Let's go to the browns. Let's go to the browns and see what we come up with. I mean, those would be fine. Those three would be fine together. That I'm too close between spice marmalade and rusty hinge, and I don't think I'm going to find another. I'm not. I know I'm not going to find another orange. So what if we try those? Brush corduroy is the third one, and you'll see why I'm picking three. Brush corduroy. We used him not too long ago because I remember we were talking about the book Corduroy. Remember the book Corduroy with the little bear who's at the department store with the little girl and the mom and his buttons fall off, his little overalls. All right, where'd my stamp set go? That was like 12 days ago, it feels like. Here we go. So I need three stamps here. I need about last month. Actually, I don't. I just need two. So one of those colors is going to go out. We'll see which one. About last month, and we need November. Even though we are in December, we are doing about last month for the month of November. Okay. So now, when we bring this back in, I need to kind of bring this in because I need to make sure that we're paying attention to what's over here. We know we like this guy, right? We like that guy. I really feel like we need to use him. So, with that said, spun sugar and spiced marmalade. Spun sugar and maybe we need to go spun sugar and rusty hinge is better. I think we're going to do that. Spun sugar and rusty hinge. We don't even need corduroy. So let's put spice marmalade away and we'll get rusty hinge. Uh, is that in the browns? Yeah, I put it in the brown. I put it in the brown because look at this. That's what it looks like on the case. This is what it looks like stamped. That is why it's a good idea to swatch all of your inks. So I never would have picked this guy. I would have thought it was too brown, but that is a good match. Okay, so now what we need to decide, we're gonna do a little testing here. We need to decide what we like. We need to decide whether we want, like, what do we want to be the focus? Do we want, because the focus is automatically, well, kind of going to be the darker color. So do we want to stamp? Do we want to stamp? I don't know. I feel like spun sugar. I think it's going to be really heavy if we do about last month in the rusty hinge. So let's try spun sugar in the, we'll try spun sugar in the about last month. This had a lot of lint on the back of it, I could feel. So I'm just cleaning off the back side first. And then we are right sizing our stamping block to our stamp. That's a little 1x5. I came out with this one when we introduce this stamp because you really need, well, you don't need, but if you right size, much easier to maneuver that stamp on that stamping block that fits fairly well. So about last month, we're doing in spun sugar. Want to get that nice and inked up. Try to get that nice and even. That stamp was not all the way clean. I mean, I don't know. We'll see. Nice even pressure. right? I don't want to rock the stamp. If I rock the stamp, it's too much pressure at the top and the bottom. It'll kind of flatten out the stamped image on the top and bottom if I really rock it. Okay. About last month. Now, here's the deal. This is one of the reasons why you test. See, I'm not convinced that that is the right way to go. Um, that makes it look kind of very much like ice creamy, right? I think that's just, especially when we have over here, right? It just, that doesn't go. So we're not doing that. That's why we test, right? If we had stamped that directly, we would have been like, oh, shoot, we don't like that. And I know that we're not going to find another pink. We're just not going to find another pink that will, we just need something that's much deeper and we're not going to find it. So let's go with, maybe we need to bring in that. I don't want that. I know. We're going to bring in fossilized amber. I think that's the answer. Fossilized amber. So if we do fossilized amber, let's try fossilized amber with that about last month. Um, so let's look. Rosie, Laura. What about worn lipstick? Let me see. Let's look. So Victorian velvet. Someone said Victorian velvet. That I think I like Victorian velvet. I think we used that maybe last week. But I think it is, I think it's just, I think it's not right. And worn lipstick is going to have, it has like way too much blue in it for me. Too much blue in it. All right, let's try this guy. I was excited about using some pink and it's just not, we just don't have it. The only thing I wonder if I can check one more place. I haven't put all my swatches together yet though, of these other inks. So about last month, and then what if November comes in with um that rusty hinge. So I have another one of those long ones. I do. I'm gonna cheat right here. I'm pulling out another one so I don't have to take that off, clean it, and then take it off. Other nice thing about testing is we can decide, do we like the color combination? I think that's a good one. Look, I think that's those two are going to go well. That's what we're doing. All right. So we can come back here and this can't go on here yet because we need to have all the space here. Re-ink using fossilized amber. I was going to check the 49 and Market inks. Those are dye, not pigment, but if there was a pink that I liked, I would probably go for it, but we'll keep on this, we'll keep along this path. So about last month, we are going to stamp that about right there. Now, what I'm thinking is, could I do this? Oh my gosh, come on. This little guy is going to be the death of me. What I was thinking is, could we go like this? And then this guy is about right here. He'd have to go way high. He'd have to like nestle right in there. Could he snuggle right in there? No, he's not going to work. Don't worry. We'll figure out a place for him. He literally is going to be the death of me. Well, of course, it's a sticker, Lael. I mean, you can't just like flop it down. All right, we better add some more ink to that just in case. Some days things are, rolling right along. Other days, not so much. All right, here we go. Back to the drawing board. Well, no, this isn't the drawing board. Okay. Oh, Virginia, thank you. I love that. Gosh, Colleen, I missed Angel Time by like 3 minutes. Virginia said, my stamping is so much better since I started following you, Lil. I'm so glad. You know what? I am so glad because you know what? Um, that's all of it is about practicing, right? I didn't come out of the womb knowing how to stamp. I used to hate stamping. I mean, like, really, it's only been within the last 6 years or so that I've really gotten into stamping. And what I discovered was I had to play. I had to figure things out because no one told me. I didn't ask. Ooh. No one told me some of the tips. I mean, I'm sure if I had watched YouTube videos, I would have figured it out that I share with you guys that have helped um, make me like stamping much more than I ever did. The things like, I mean, even knowing your properties of your ink, right? I like I call it a really juicy stamping ink. I like to have a nice, solid impression when I am stamping. So I like to use a pigment-based ink. That is why I use oxides, distress oxides. They're a pigment-based ink. They give you, in my opinion, more complete coverage. Now, I don't do mixed media, so I don't really not concerned at all about the properties of your dye-based inks or your pigment-based inks when it as it relates to mixed media and water and blending and things like that, because that's not how I use it. So I figured out what is it I like, what kind of stamped impression am I looking for, and then I started finding inks that I liked. I didn't know. I mean, I didn't know originally when I started buying inks that there was a difference between these two, besides color. Your distress inks are black. They have a black little tin, right? Plastic. Your distress oxides are gray. Did you know that? So if you've been willy-nilly buying and you think they're the same thing, you have mixed your oxides, pigment-based ink, with your um, dye-based inks, your distress inks, black, gray. I didn't know that 7 years ago when I started buying inks. And then I quickly got rid of or donated, whatever, all of my distress inks because I like oxide better. So it's all about playing. For me, it's all about playing and learning. And that could be cute there. When I stamp, I stand as opposed to sit. Well, that's kind of cheating because when I stamp, when I create, I'm standing the whole time. So, um, that little guy could go there. It kind of pulls in some of those little berries and colors from over here to over here. Or I could just do a little single. No, single's not fun. I could do a little mushroom. Now, the mushroom doesn't work because he's too big. Really, there's not enough design. He needed to be more like that. But then, yeah. So I think I like this guy. Oh, wait, did I like the pink one? Or did I like the yellow one? The yellow one goes better, doesn't it? And so you know what that means? Then this little friend is not going to get used anywhere over here. I don't know. Maybe he could go there. Oh, ugh, that sticker is going to be the death of me. So if we're going to keep this guy over here, then maybe we should do this little pink here because then there's a little bit more pink. I'm just going to put this on. I'm tired of him. I'm tired of him causing me problems. I think I like this one better. You know why I like this one better? I like this one better because there are three. Here's a prime example of when people say odds versus evens in clusters, right? So this guy has two berries. I keep coming back to why don't I like that? There's something there that's not working for me. In my head, there needs to be a third berry there. And then when you see it like this, right? Three little berries. So that's what I'm using. All right, let's put that guy down. And place. Now we've got some of that bright red here and over here. Okay, so there's going to be one more thing that I may need to do. We have kind of our little visual-ish triangle happening there, right? Like that. So that works. I had pulled this guy out. What if No. No. What if that went there? No, I don't think we need it. All right, let's get on with things with our list. So, I need a bullet stamp because I always do a run on here. I'm just writing, 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 writing. And I think what I may do, I think I may do a, my back is to you. Hold on. I don't know. I think I did this before. We're going to have to see. I don't ever use a colored pen, ever, ever, ever. I always do my black Sharpie. So we're going to look at something. We're going to see if I might like this brown instead of black here. Let's try to go somewhere like this. This is a brown pen. Will I like it? I think that could work. So the reason why I was thinking the brown pen is because of this. Do you see those little brown leaves right there? If I take a bullet stamp that has a leaf, but it's kind of an outline of a leaf, like maybe this guy, right? That could be the bullet I use. There's cute little trees in there too, but I think maybe I like that outline. So if I do the outline that, I feel like I need to, that cannot be in the same brown because the whole point of kind of doing a bullet is that so you can, gosh, I made a huge dent in that paper. Um, so that you can differentiate, you can visually see the difference between each of the things on your list. And if that's brown and that's brown, it'll be harder to see. So I'm thinking maybe we just continue on with that guy or the yellow. What do we think? Yellow or I think we should do the rust. Rusty hinge. All right. So here's my little stamp and we right size our stamping block to our stamps, right? I have another stamping block. This is called the stamping stylus. This is meant for your little teeny tiny stamps, right? Little teeny tiny. And so I am going to place my little teeny tiny bullet stamp on the end of, oh, I licked the back of it. Well, I didn't lick the back of it. I think I licked my finger and then because it had a little bit of lint on it. Um, on the end of my little stamping stylus here. Okay. Because that is way easier to handle than even my little smallest, even like this little guy. Way easier to handle with this little stamping stylus. I don't know. I thought I got lots of sleep last night. I feel like my brain is just not quite functioning. I feel like I keep looking for things. Like, where's my list? Where? Oh, here it is. Here we go. All right, so let's just look. Let's test this. There is a little squirrel label on this. Don't pull that off. That's there for a reason besides to tell you that it's squirrel and a stamping stylus. Um, because this is so long and because your little bullet stamps are so small, you cannot see the orientation of your stamp when you're stamping, right? And if I want these all to be going the same direction and not upside down and backwards and sideways, I need to be able to know the orientation of where that is in relation to when I use it. So if I place that stamp in relation to where the squirrel is, and as I stamp, I'm making sure I can always see the squirrel in the same place, that makes sure that that little guy will always be in the same exact direction, right? Just like that. Now, do I want it off to, I think I'd like it. I'm going to actually turn it because I would like it to be a little bit at an angle. So let's look there. Oh, wrong way. That's like the weird reverse mirror thing. Let's see if that did it. There we go. All right. So now we are ready for our list. What I think I'm going to do, I'm going to do a little separator line again. Two. So I'll use my little pen here, my little brown pen that I'm using, like that. And then do another one. I have so many different colored pens and markers. It's just not me though. I have them, I don't use them. Okay, so now we start our list. Like now I start into what did I you know, what happened? Golly, the synapses were not firing there. All right, so my list. Oh, here we go. Okay. So I let's see, I had my third annual mail by mail creative team call. And there's just all kinds of things on my list. Sometimes there are months where I have a lot going on. Sometimes there's months where I don't have a lot going on. Um, if you feel like you don't have a lot going on in your life and you think I would never be able to fill out a whole page of about last month things, um, you can do things like just finished watching Landman, or Landman is back and I've started binge watching it, or I've made a lot of soups and stews in November, or Thanksgiving, or books that you're reading, or food that you're eating, right? So does not have to be big things, right? I'm sorry. Maybe you did not go to um, Finland in November, right? Doesn't matter. Your list, you get to decide what goes on it. They don't have to be big things. Hydrate. All right. The placement. You just want to make sure your stamp is placed in relation to where the squirrel is. So um, get get your stamp positioned to where you want it. Make sure that it's in relation to the squirrel. So as long as you pay attention to where the squirrel is, your stamp will be in the same position every time. All right, next up. Oh my gosh, oh wait, I can't hit that yet. Um Early November, I taught my December documented class, my 11th year doing that project kit. I Oh, look it. I wasn't paying attention. See, and it actually worked out okay. It went the other way, but I had it completely like upside down. Not upside down, but you know, the other way. And it's okay. Oh yes, so I taught at the Lizzie Lou Christmas Bash. That was our ninth. 9 years we've been doing that. I also was one of the very fortunate people that got caught up in the government shutdown. And my flight was canceled coming home. My flight home was canceled due to the government shutdown. I stayed overnight in an airport hotel and got home 24 hours later. 24 hours later. That was a bummer. but I made it. I got home. So what do you do? Nothing. There's nothing you can do, right? They're like, sorry, you don't have any flights. The flight got canceled. And I'm like, okay, I guess I'll go find a hotel. All right. Where am I? I um the northern, I'm figuring out how to word this. The Northern Lights made an appearance again. Always so special. Now, this was nowhere near like last year when I saw them, when we saw them, but some people here, some people a little bit north of here really had an amazing, like amazing. I think this is probably this one was probably second only to the one that happened that first time in May. That was pretty awesome. What else? What else? What else? Um, oh yes. I taught at 3 Craft Chicks virtual Christmas extravaganza. And then I got sick. Sick, 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 sick. Sick, sick, sick. Caught the nasty cold. Going around. Basically took 2 weeks to get rid of it. And there's still lingering things. Okay, let's see. So, by doing this every year, every month for the last, well, since August of 2020, so more than 5 years, I can say I'm caught up in my memory keeping because I've done at least this every month for the last 5+ years. And it's never too late to start. This is a great topic when people say, I want to start creative listing. I don't know where to start. This is a really easy one to start with. About last month. There's no right or wrong way to start. None of my stuff is chronological. My stuff jumps all over the board because it's easier that way, right? Sometimes I talk about my favorite toys as a kid. Sometimes I'm talking about last month, right? I jump all over the board. So this is a really easy one to start if you want to get started. And you don't have to wait until the beginning of the year to do it. Just jump in. Um, uh, we watched the Jazz play the Lakers. I think the Jazz won, right? I think they won. I don't remember. I better not put that. I can't remember if they did or not. We have friends that have amazing Jazz tickets, Utah Jazz basketball, amazing. And they were going to be out of town, so they gave us their tickets and like 7 rows from the floor. I yeah, anytime they're like, "Hey, we can't use our tickets. Do you want to go?" And we're like, "Yes, yes, yes." Just I don't know. It's something pretty spectacular when you. Although I don't like LeBron James, I think well, it doesn't matter. But anyhow, um, when you are like seeing them that up close, you're like, "Oh my gosh, that's kind of cool." So that was fun. Did my big Black Friday sale. Black Friday, Cyber Monday, Women Led Wednesday, Small Business Saturday. That's always a good one. That's always a fun one. And then there's always lots of orders. What else did I do? Let's see. So Jack and Kat, Jack's our older son, and his fiance, Jack and Kat, came for Thanksgiving. And to celebrate Nick's 60th birthday, my hubby. So that actually worked really well. His birthday's on November 30th, so kids were in town for Thanksgiving, so that was kind of fun. Let's see. We went book shopping. I am such a sucker for a bookstore. Book shopping, um, antique mall, Randy's Records, went to the record store. A great way to end the month. All right, there we go. There is my about last month for November. So let's go back and add it in. Same trick. We need something down here. We'll figure something down here in a minute. Same trick. We are going to, oh, I have an idea. I think I have an idea. We need to use our super strong adhesive, our Sukwang, our double-sided tape. That's just the brand. And we want to use this again because on the left page, once you get so deep into your insert, it does not want to lay flat. This piece will not want to lay flat in the center of the spread because of everything that's happened before it. So we need nice strong adhesive right there. And then while I'm just doing it, I figure I might as well just do it. All right. Yours doesn't have a squirrel. Which one is that, Wanda? When you say yours doesn't have a squirrel. Carrie said, I love that I can just take Lael with me as I run errands. Went and got my stepson's haircut, going to get a tree and then get some decorating done. Oh, that's fun. Take me with you. Take me with you. That's funny. Wanda said, I've already been on the computer twice to place an order. Still not finished. You know, no rush, right? No rush. If you guys are shopping, if you missed it, the collection that I'm using here, Autumn Archives, this is the last time I will be using it. And so I've marked the collection down, all the products that are left on my website, down 35% off. So if you need a fun little fall collection to wrap up some things or for next year, now's a good time to pick it up. The second giveaway is going to be all of my leftovers from this collection. And I know that you think, well, that's kind of lame. I even though I've used this on probably 5 lists, I still have a lot of things left over. So I'll show them to you in a minute, but let's go ahead and do that now. So another live giveaway that is taking place in a chat. So go ahead and chat away. And once I kind of get these things picked up a little bit, I just need to figure out one more thing, right? I need to figure out what's going to go right here. We need something in that little empty space. So let's look. You know what it's going to be? I just know because this is, I always say if it looks like we're missing something, it is going to be a word strip. And there's no word strips in this. I already know. But I just had an idea. Maybe, what about if we added like this little guy right here? Oh, yes, he's cute there. There, right? So something right here. We need a word strip or stamp, or we could stamp something. So if I stamp something, I could stamp a word strip, but oh wait, I had an idea. I forgot about the idea that I had. Let's look and see if November, is there something? No, not really, right? Nothing here that could really go from November. Although I'm going to try something here. I'm going to see if this would work because this little guy that says month of November, would that work right there? Would I like it right there? We're going to see. So if I were to do that, I think I would do it in the yellow, the fossilized amber. So let's actually let's get. I'm just going to clean. I'll clean those up in a minute. We'll get there. We'll get there. So this I just pulled from, that is the month by, that's November, the month by month series. So there are 12 of those month by month. So one for each month. that have been very popular. You guys have really liked those. It's been super exciting. Um, and those are sold month by month. So you can buy 1 month at a time, or you can buy the whole 12 months. And if you buy the whole 12 months at once, then you get a discount. I think 10% off. And I've told people I don't want anybody to panic buy, right? Nobody panic buy because we'll have them all through 2026. All right, I'm just cutting this off to see what this would look like, to see if I like it. And then we can go from there. Well, I could even just put that down if I wanted, right? Oh, okay, look, maybe that's what we do. Does that go right there? The month of November? S- I don't really like it there. I don't really like it there. Well, I don't know. Maybe it goes there. I like it there actually. And that worked out. That was just a piece of scratch paper, but that actually worked out really well because I would not have stamped it right up here, right? If I stamped it right up here, it would have looked really funny. Uh-oh. That is not centered. There we go. All right, so I still haven't fixed the problem over here, but we are going to, I think now we'll just do a word strip sticker. Just a regular old word strip sticker. And those would be behind me. So maybe, are they? Oh, yeah. No, we don't need snarky. Regular. Small tuck. And I think we'll just do a white one there. We don't need black. Let's see. Best day ever. Journey just when you know better, do better. This is what family looks like. That would work there. This is what family looks like because there's family and friends, and that's all kind of the same thing, right? What if we go there? So if we do that there, this is what family looks like. Or we could do this. We could also cut it. And if I cut it like this and I decide I don't like it cut, I'll just piece it back together. It'll be okay. So let's see. This is what family looks like. So as soon as I'm done with this, we will do our that work? I think it does. I think it works. I would really like to have a little heart. Ah, I do have a heart. Okay. Oh, goodness. I am going to use one of these Doodlebug. How about if we do a little yellow? Now, I could stamp a heart too, right? But we'll just use one of these little guys. Right there. Okay, we're good. All done. All done. All right. I'm gonna put these right back away and then I will draw. Not draw, but pick. We'll pick our last winner. Okay, stop, 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 stop. It is going to Jody Biz 4. Jody Biz 4, congratulations. You are the random lucky winner of all of this. All of this. The chipboard stickers. There's a lot on there. Lots of paper. Some of the paper I have partially used. Other paper is still there in the full 12 by 12 pieces. There's even this. And I didn't even use any of those. Those are the chipboard alpha stickers. All right, and then the die cuts. All right, which I will, we'll put them all together and send it all to you. So congratulations, Jody Biz 4. Was that right? Jody Biz 4. So Jody Biz 4, please send an email to lailbymail@gmail.com. And in the subject line of the email, please put winner, Autumn Archives. And there's things all over the floor. Please put winner Autumn Archives. And in the body of the email, please put your name and address. We will get all of that shipped off to you probably week after next, I'm going to say. All righty. Congratulations, Jody. Leftovers. Yeah, right? I mean, those are some pretty good leftovers. It's not like, you're having the leftover liver and onions that your aunt made when you went to her house the other night for dinner, right? Those kind of leftovers are not as good. I don't know. I wouldn't like that. I wouldn't like that even if it was not leftovers. I still wouldn't like it, but those are good leftovers. All righty. Our last list. What time is it? Okay. Our last list. We have one more list that we're going to do. I need to just put things away here. So let me get things put away. But our last list is holiday traditions. Right. And loves my Griffin Moore said, she said, and those leftovers won't spoil, right? Exactly. Oh, perfect. Jody said, so cool. Thank you. My computer blipped out and I just got back on. Perfect. Good timing. All right. So holiday traditions. Do you have holiday traditions in your family? Have you ever written them down or talked about them? You probably talked about them, but write them down, right? Write them down. We should write things down. That's all about what we do here, right? I always say, I really wish, really, really, really wish that I had been listing. Now, I've been a list maker my entire life. And I even have a mini book that I put together probably 10 years ago, 2009, long time ago, more than 10 years ago. In 2009 of lists. And there were lists that I had saved, a lot of them. Um, but they tell a story, right? Um, and it's fun for me to go back and in there I had some of the kids' spelling lists when they were little kids because I did this in 2009. Spelling lists from when they were little kids. Um, List of foods that I would eat when I was doing Weight Watchers, right? One of the tracking lists. Um, Books I wanted to read lists back then. I mean, so many different lists. Um, but it's fun to go back and look at those kind of lists because they tell a story. And I think, gosh, I wish I had been making lists when I was in high school. Like, what was a typical day like when I was in high school? What was a typical day like when I was in college? Because very different than high school. How about when I was just starting out in my career or as a new mom? Very different than now, right? They're very different than now. Um, then I think, gosh, if I had those lists of my mom in those stages of life or my grandmother in those stages of life, that'd be really cool. That would be really cool. So we kind of took kill two birds with one stone here, so to speak. Number one, we're playing and we're being creative, and some of us feel like we have to do something creative every day. So it helps to scratch that itch, right? But we're also telling stories, and we're telling stories. Oh, that's funny. Look at we did have a heart. We had hearts. We're telling stories uh, for the future, right? I'm gonna pop this guy off and put this little one on here instead. No, I don't like that. Again, there's two. If there were three, I would like it. One or three, not two. All right, those go to Jody. Although Jody, those may be hard to come to you because they're stickers. So we'll see what happens since I pulled them off. All right, holiday traditions. That is our next list. Have you ever documented your holiday traditions? They could be done with photos or not, right? They don't have to have photos. You could just document them. Um, Maybe you have traditions in your family that aren't holiday related. Maybe you have birthday traditions. Birthday tradition. We have a birthday tradition in our family. Uh, well, for the kids, not for us, not for adults, but for the kids. Well, still do it for Sam. It's called the birthday door. In fact, I think we've done in the past a. I think we've done in the past a traditions list. I know we have because I remember the birthday door was on it. So just kind of another fun thing to document different things about you or your family. Let's see. There is now rusty hinge on the floor. All right. So we are going to end up working off the page again here, right? I am going to end up my list here. I will do off the page, like kind of like we did this one and this one, just because it's too hard to be working right here. We're at the very end. Basically, we've got just a couple pages left. So, holiday traditions. Let's look and see what I was thinking for my sketch. Made a little sketch here. Here's my little sketch. Look, kind of looks very similar, doesn't it? That was our first list. There's the sketch. There's the mantle with the stockings and the tree. That's the photo. And the stars. All right. So, holiday traditions. We are going to need some pattern paper on one side, two sides, maybe. All right, let's go to our stack. I'm going back to Dear December again. Back to Dear December. And let's see what we want to work with. I need two things that will go together, obviously. Those two would go together nicely, right? Those two would go together nicely. What do I feel like? I don't know. I kind of feel like I want to do these two. So I am going with the more kind of the B sides in these papers. So lots of things going on, lots of pattern on the A sides, but I think I want to keep it pretty neutral for my backgrounds. And then I will be adding in color with the ink I use and then the embellishments I use. All right. So I think we're going to go with both of those. And that will give me a nice opportunity for lots of green. Yeah, that's what we're gonna do. Okay, doing those two. Get these out of the way. So, trimmer, I am going to trim my bases down to 4 3/4 by 8. I do 4 3/4 by 8 because that will give me a nice white border all around when I adhere it to my insert. 4 3/4 by 8. This also kind of gets a little bit, I mean, it's kind of pinkish in there too. It kind of gets a little bit of that pink in there, a little bit of non-traditional color. And 4 3/4 by 8. Oh, Susan, I love it. She said, we don't call gifts like the Autumn Archives items hand-me-downs. We call them hand-me-ups. That's clever. I like that. I like that. Hand-me-ups. I'm going to remember that. Hand-me-up. The tool that I was using. Oh, Jackie, it is this. I sell them on my website. I call it a lifting tool. It's thin enough that you can kind of slide it under things. So lifting tool. List of foods you ate, survived as a kid. Really liking all the Christmas things with pink colors included. Makes me think vintage from the 50s or 60s. Yes, for sure. Creamed tuna on toast. That was always a Lenten special. And if mom wanted to, she'd add a can of drained green peas to it. Oh. Next time you have that, don't invite me over, Jody. Oh, Virginia said my mother made us eat liver and onions every couple of months. Now, even smothered in tomatoes. Yikes, 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 yikes. Okay. All right. So here we go. This is going to be, I had to think about, this is going to be my right page. So, oh, you know what? Hang on. You guys hold on real quick. Hold on real quick. Hold on, hold on, hold on, hold on. UPS is here. Hang on. I just need to, hold on, hold on. Where's my little thing that says, hold on? Oh my gosh, Leo. Oh, here it is. Okay. Hold on. Hold on. Hold on. You got this by any chance? yesterday. Oh, okay, no worries. No worries. I'll just take it back. That's not making them later, so I will reach out to you on Monday. Okay, perfect. Thank you. Do you want to take a treat? I have to. Okay. You guys hold on one sec. I'm coming back. Hold on, you guys. One more second. Okay, I'm coming. Okay, so sorry. UPS, our regular driver, had come yesterday and I wasn't here. And he needed a signature. And so he left something saying, text me. And then I didn't see it till late last night. Anyhow, I had to ask the UPS lady if she could give it to me, and she didn't know anything about it. And then there are so many orders going out on the front porch. And then when UPS comes and leaves packages for me, I have to make sure as quickly as I can to get them off the front porch because the post office has been known to be picking up packages and also take on accident without realizing it packages that had come in, like from UPS. So sorry, I had to deal with that really quickly, or else that was not going to be good. Okay. Mm, and a quick drink. Cindy, raw, raw hack on saltines. What is hack? Is that like fish? Ooh, yucky. That does not sound like something I would like at all. All right. Let me look at my little thing here. What am I thinking? So this is what I am thinking. All right. So I need some white. Wait. You know what I'm going to end up doing here? And I don't ever do this, but I'm going to do this. I think it will work in because I'm at the very end. I feel like, so I need to have a little bit, I need to have white here because I'm going to do kind of some writing on here. And I feel like if I put white on there, it's just going to totally get lost. So I'm actually going to matte. I'm going to matte something, which I never do. And usually I don't ever matte anything because it takes up too much, it adds too much bulk. It adds too much bulk. But in this case, I'm not worried because it's at the very end. All right. So this guy is normally 3 3/4 by. So I do 3 3/4 by 7 usually. So let's see how tall is that already? 7? A little bit taller than 7. Make that 7. 3 3/4. That usually ends up being what I do here. And then we will just do a little bit of a border. Now, if I didn't have black cardstock, a lot of times what I will do is if I want to add a little bit of color, I will just ink the edges. I'll just kind of ink around the edges. So I could have done something like that as well. Don't mind that. That was a boo-boo on the backside, but the front's still good. So just a little bit, right? So just a little tiny bit. And then that will help that pop over here. All right. How about Christmas shows? Do you guys have traditions around Christmas shows for your family that you like to watch every year? Do you like to watch Christmas Vacation or Elf? Elf, right? Elf, yeah. That's always a fun one. Or The Christmas Story. Someone was talking before about getting the leg lamp up. That's from Christmas Story, right? Do you have books that you read every year come Christmas time? All right. So there is a start. Now, I need a little die cut. It's going to go right up here. So let's figure out which one that is. Oh yeah, they're right here. Let's see. And I know I also need some little die cuts I'll be using over here. So let's start taking a look at some of our die cuts. We could use him. Oh, that would be cute, wouldn't it? We have some things like that. We have some little greenery like that. Wait, no, we need a candy cane in there. Um, oh, there is. What was that? Holiday holiday traditions, but there is a die cut. Oh, here it is. Here we go. Holiday favorites. So we might use that somewhere. We might work that in over here somewhere. We've got maybe some little presents that we could use. Maybe some little stamps we could use, some more presents. And this is just a mix of all the die cuts. I basically just poured them all out. Little stocking, a Santa, a Christmas tree. Oh, look. Is that the one I was looking for before? Maybe. A sleigh. Sled? Sleigh? I don't know. How do you know the difference? When do you use sled and when do you use sleigh? On a one horse open sleigh, it doesn't say on a one horse open sled. Does anyone know the difference? One horse open sleigh, one horse open sled? Don't know. While we're here, I'm just grabbing a whole bunch of things that could work. Look who that is. That's Reggie. All right. I think that will be I've used this collection so much. This is going to sound bad. I am ready to move on. Just because I'm using it every day. And I've taught my class like 5 times. And so I am over. I love it, but I'm over it. You know, it's been a lot. All right. There's some things. We've got plenty of things there to work with. Okay. So now, next up, I am going to put my title right here is going to say holiday traditions. Do we need Santa there instead, maybe? I don't know. I kind of like the contrast. I kind of like this little guy here. I think we're going to do that here. And if we want to add Santa over here, we can. But I think he's kind of cute there. All right. So we need a title. Holiday tradition. So we're going to use Reggie Alpha again. And just stamp holiday and stamp traditions right below it. But now we're going to use green instead of black. We want to use some green. So let's look at. Let's look where my swatches are. I think I've been using Rustic Wilderness. I really wish we really need, well, a green that is like bright, darker than mowed lawn, but kind of bright like that. But no. So I think we're going to use Rustic Wilderness. Da, 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 da. Where is it? Here it is. Here it is. Oh, I know what I was going to look at a minute ago. Let me just look there very quickly. If where are uh, so that's interesting. I hate it when I do that. You put something away and oh, there it is. Okay. So I'm going to look one more thing. And these have been swatched, but they're not named yet. Green Jean. No, I don't. It's not Green Jean. No, we're good. I'm gonna stick with Rustic Wilderness. These are the 49 and Market inks, and that is too blue. Rainforest. Yep. Okay. Just check. Just gotta check. I don't like the way those swatched either. I'm gonna have to fix that. All right. Okay. Holiday traditions. Colleen said, National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation was my husband's favorite holiday movie. We watched it every year. Seen it so many times I can quote most of it, right? Yes, it's a good one. Colleen, is it hard? Is it hard to watch that? Do you still watch it? Is it hard to watch it with him gone? Or is it brings up nice memories? I think what I'm going to do here also, I think I'm going to mix case. So I'm gonna have some uppers and some lowers, but not how you traditionally have your uppers and lowers. That will lend a little bit of frivolity. I don't think that's a word. It'll make it fun. Um, Sleigh rhymes with laughing all the way. Sled down a hill versus a sleigh ride? Sled, but if you have the thing in your garage, do you call it like this little thing? Do you call this a sled? Oh, hold on. Sled is that, right? Is a sled like what a person would go on, and a sleigh is a whole bunch of things in? Maybe that's it. I don't know. What did you talk about today? Oh, well, we debated the usage of sled versus sleigh. Um, I'm missing all kinds of stuff in the chat, right? Sleigh. Oh, there we go, Sarah. Sleigh is larger and drawn by horses or deer, or reindeer. Sleigh is eventual, pulled or take a run and belly flop. Perfect. There we go. There we go. All right. Holiday tradition. Now it's like, what are we doing? Oh, yeah. Holiday traditions. Okay. Let's go ahead and get this guy nailed down. Yep. Sled you sit on and go down the hill. That totally makes sense. I made that way more complicated than I needed to, huh? I did. I did. Sometimes I'm known to do that. Sometimes I'll be teaching something in a class and someone will raise their hand and they'll go, Can I ask you a question? I'll be like, Yeah. And they'll say, Can I ask you why you did it that way? And I'm like, I don't know. I just did. Well, wouldn't it have been easier if you do it this way? And I'm like, Oh, yeah, it would have been. I didn't, but that's a good idea. That's a good idea. I didn't do it that way. Never occurred to me to do it that way. All right. Oh, what I'd like to do here, since I don't have any lines to try to line it up on, I would like to take my little ruler and I am going to take my little pencil and I am going to make a line. Move it up just a tad. So I will draw a pencil mark for my first one. And then I will wait to erase that until tomorrow. If you are doing anything with a pencil and your oxide or pigment-based ink, do not erase it right away because your oxide inks take a little bit to dry. And if you go to pull in an eraser and dry right away, you are going to erase right away, you're going to be sad because it will not be dry and it's going to pull some of that color down. And you don't want that. You probably don't want that. H. All right. So when it comes to alphabet, when it comes to your alpha stamps or a title, you pretty much can either use stickers or you can use stamps. Stamps take a lot longer, at least for me, because we've talked about that I like to. This is a prime example of why we test first. Do you see that top of that O is a little circle in it? That is because there is a little something something on that stamp. I clean that off and then dry it. I want to dry it right away. I do not want to just go and re-ink it again. Your pigment-based inks, your distress oxides are water reactive. And so if there's any moisture, dampness on your stamp, that water can react with the ink and it's probably going to do something you didn't want it to do. Um, Definitely kind of different colors sometimes will do it more than others, but if you're not looking for that reaction to happen, just good idea to always, if you're cleaning off in between re-inking, then go ahead and dry before you re-ink. That's important. And I was saying something before that. Now I don't remember what it was. I don't remember. I don't remember. I lost my train of thought. Holiday traditions, HOL. Do you guys play Wordle? Nick and I have really been getting into Wordle lately. And we'll be doing whatever. And I'll be like, okay, 1, 2, 3, Wordle. And then, we each play Wordle. Uh, he is not here, so I can say this. Well, I can say it anyway. He knows I say this. I'm way better at Wordle than he is. I have always been a reader. Like I've read my whole life. Like I've always, always, always loved to read. And I think that if you read, that in general, you may have a little bit more of a maybe vocabulary. I don't know. Than maybe someone who doesn't read a lot or hasn't always read a lot. Nick is starting to read a lot more than he ever has, but um, yeah, it's interesting. But we're enjoying Wordle. Oh, that's fun, Nancy. Your little town is our Christmas parade tonight. That's a tradition you like. That's fun. And you know what? Here's the thing. When it comes to holiday traditions, they may be traditions that you had when you were growing up or when your kids or grandkids or, friends or, whatever it is, when you were a little kid. They don't have to be holiday traditions that you currently do. It could just be holiday traditions from some point in your life. Or, you know what might be nice? It could be maybe holiday traditions that you would like to start, right? Maybe you don't do these traditions, but maybe you'd like to start. Let's see. Colleen, response to my question about whether she still watches the movie. I still watch the movie at least once he's here. It's not hard to watch. It gives me a few good laughs, especially when I remember the parts that he used to laugh at. Oh, I love that, Colleen. That's a very positive, that's a very positive attitude. I love that. All right, we're coming along. Tabitha said she and her boyfriend do it over FaceTime each night. That's so fun, right? Because you got a 1 in Wordle this week. You did it on the first try. Wow. So then, those of you that do Wordle, if you're not sure what Wordle is a game. It's a word game that you can play online. That from the New York Times, and basically you have 6 chances to get the word right. It's a 5-letter word. And it tells you if you have the right letter in the right place or if you have the right letter, but it's not in the right place. It's just fun. It's fun. It was really popular. I think it still is, but it was really popular a few years ago. But think about it. Of all the 5-letter words in the world to get it on the first try, that's crazy. I've never done that. Two, every so often I'll get it in two, but um, in two guesses. So then, question: if you do play Wordle, do you always use the same first word? Tabitha's asking, what is your first word? Hers is ado because you've got 4 vowels in there. That's a good one. So you're not trying to guess it. You are trying to, um, most words have at least 1 vowel, but you are trying to narrow down. Oh, gosh, guess what I better do? I better end that in a Y, a large, I mean, lower, uppercase. This is what happens when I start talking. I'm talking too much and I totally forgot that I was mixing cases. So let's go with the uppercase Y. That'll be fine. It just kind of adds a little whimsy to it. Holiday, right? You see that? How it just kind of had fun with it. And I purposefully, that's easy for me to say, am not all the way on the line. So my big guys kind of drop down a little below by design. All right, so now let's figure out, we need to do our traditions. So I could either write traditions, but I think I should stamp it. I think it's more fun to stamp it. I just need to make sure I have enough room. I need to make sure I have enough room. So TRAD. TRA. Maybe if my A is uppercase, that will be my tallest letter. So we'll just kind of make sure we have enough room here. That should be pretty good. So Tabitha said adieu. Vikage's haste. So which one was it? Was it haste? Haste wasn't one this week, was it? I know we did it this week. What, Marilee? I don't. What does that word mean? I don't even know how to pronounce it. It looks like Ouija. I don't even. What is that word? Julianne, I love it. Wordle is one of your monthly lists. The word and how many tries it took. That's a great idea. That's really fun. Pious is a good start, and tread, right? So it kind of goes back to the whole, did you ever like to play Wheel of Fortune when it was on TV? And they always said that when you get up and you do your first roll, you should do RSTLNE because you get the most common used consonants out of the way and then an E. Like the Ouija board, you spelled it wrong. Oh, okay. I'm like, what is that word? I'm like, I don't even, but you can put Ouija, like, what does it mean? Ouija. Like, is it in the board? I don't know. All right. Traditions. Now, we need to think about this for a minute. I'm going to spell traditions here. TRADIT. Traditions. That is a long word. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. That was 7. Ooh. So that does tell me I need to start all the way over. And although I've got some little skinny ones there, so if this is uppercase, let's make that one an uppercase. And then maybe the N. How about that? That'll work. All right. I wanted to figure that out first. So now we know we need to start pretty far left because that's a long word. Hello, honey. You should see there's like 20 boxes right outside of this door.
How does all get in?
I grabbed it because I was worried that the mailman would come and take it.
You got stuff?
Yeah.
You decided what you needed to?
No, she didn't have it. She's like, I'm only the Saturday person. I don't have that. I'm like, okay, whatever. I'll just have to text Jeff. Jeff's our UPS man. He is a nice guy. He gave me his phone number a long time ago, his cell phone. So if I ever needed to talk to him,
It's a little irritating to me because the UPS guy's constantly hitting on my hot line.
the UPS guy is not hitting on me. You're so funny. Oh, shoot. Okay, look what I was just about ready to do. I almost did. I stopped myself. No.
This guy's hitting on you. You're doing the wrong thing.
You stop it. I'm sure he's making me blush. You guys trust me. The UPS guy is not hitting on me. Not hitting on me. Well, I know, but maybe he thinks I'm a cougar. No, no, he's not. You like to hit on me? What'd you say?
I don't like older women.
You like older women?
Old like you.
Old like me. You're older than I am. Golly jeepers. Yeah, I'm not 60. He's 60. I'm 3 years younger than he is. Hi, Mimi. Oh yeah, we're off the rails now. We're off the rails. We are off the rails. What time is it? 1:41. Okay. Traditions. We'll see if we get this one finished. Oh, there it is. Nick's jealous. Oh yeah, no, he's not. He's totally kidding. He's totally kidding. We both have very dry sense of humor. Both of us. Yeah. There's a lot of banter that goes back and forth like that in our world. A lot of banter. Okay, Kate. Ouija board. Ouija board. Creator said it meant goodly. Godly? Godly? Is that what that was meant to say? Godly? Instead of goodly? I know sometimes typing is hard. Meryl Lee. Meryl Lee, weren't you on The Price is Right too? Or no, was it? Am I just thinking you were because you were on the Wheel of Fortune and you won $10,600. And did you come home with like 58 cents when they took all the taxes out? Oh, I know what I was saying a while ago, you guys. I was talking about stamps versus stickers, right? So, stamps, if you do it the way I do it, and I do it each letter separately because I like to control how close my letters are together. And if you put them all in the stamping block together, you cannot, I can't get them as close as I want them to each other. So it does take me a bit longer to stamp something like this, but I get the look I want. And the other thing is, you never run out of a letter, right? You always will have the letter, assuming you don't lose the letter, lose your stamp. Pardon me. You always will have the letter, and you don't have to keep rebuying, right? Um, when you're out. And then as long as you have ink, you can have whatever color you need, right? So stamps, but more expensive, right? But not over time. As opposed to stickers, much quicker, much less expensive ish, right? Because, once you have 3 or 4 of them, then they're about as expensive as your stamps. So, anyhow, there's a place for both. There is a place for both. You came in second place. Oh, you could still get the money if you're in second place? I don't know. It's been a year since I've watched Wheel of Fortune. Wheel of Fortune. And then you want to sing the song. Pat Sajak's not on anymore, right? Is it now Ryan Seacrest? Maybe? Oh, good luck. Oh, okay. It said Goody K, and I'm like, Goody K, like godly? Good luck. I understand now. Holiday traditions. Okay. Yikes. I'm like, oh, it meant good luck. Okay, Ouija. Wow, look at all the things we learned today. Pat Sajak's a nice guy. You came home with a little over 7,000. Hey, that's nothing to shake a stick at. Boy, did you see what I just did there? I took 2 words. I took shake and I took stick and I put them together. The front part of shake and the last part of stick. And I made a bad word. I did not mean to do that. I think I tried to pull it back, but I think it came out. Apologies for that. I do not like to swear here. I swear like a sailor at home. I'm sorry to tell you, but I do not like to swear. There's no place in my business for swearing. So that was an accident. Shake a stick. Shake a stick. Oh, there we go. Zen Girls. Fiddler on the Roof. What is your Fiddler on the Roof tradition? I miss that. Do you watch that at the holidays? Oh, Chuck Woolery. Oh my gosh, this. I'll be back in 2 and 2. Remember when he would do Love Connection? I loved the Love Connection. Now, I was young, right? I don't know when that was exactly, but I was young when Love Connection was on. And sometimes you're like, "Oh, dudes, there's no connection there." I mean, I was probably like 11 and you're like, "Oh yeah, no, that's never going to work." You're like, "Yeah, that's never going to work. I can tell." All right. So we've stamped our title now, right? We've stamped our little custom title in the exact color that we wanted, and we're happy. I don't know where the back side of that is. So we're just going to move this over to the side for now. Someone's going to come clean up my room later, right? Someone's going to come? Who's going to come clean it up for me? All right. So what is going to happen over here? This little guy needs to go right like that. He'll be so cute there. That little reindeer will be so cute right up at the top there. I can already tell you, we're not going to finish this list today. What we're going to do is we are going to just do a little bit more stamping. Let's see, because I was going to use in the box too. So my thought was that I would create some little boxes. Hold on, let me take the dies out. Those are going to get in the way. Then let me take this out. Put it in front here. This is a very well used and loved stamp that has not been cleaned very well, Dale. So what I was thinking is if I did just some squares. Eight? How many do I have over here? I have six. So I am going to do I'm going to do six squares. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Perfect. 6 squares. So I have 6 things on our holiday traditions list. So I am going to take some white cardstock and I am going to stamp those squares in the rustic wilderness. And I am going to grab that like that. Nope, too small. When you're right sizing your stamp to your stamping block, it's also important to make sure that it is not too small. Your stamping block, you really don't want it to be too small for your stamp. Because if the edges hang off, not a good idea. There's not really enough stability. Now, I was a little overzealous when I first came in to start stamping this. So I have some ink in the center. Let's see if I can do this without getting that ink in the center. And if not, it's okay. I'll fix it. There we go. So I'm just kind of going around the edges and not getting in the center. And even though I have a little bit in the center, as long as you don't press too hard, you're fine. So this is in the box 2. It is the second in the box series. Or in the box was the first one. This was in the box 2. There's in the box scallop. And there's another in the box coming out. I think in February or March. It's already done. We are well ahead of our stamp designs for 2026. But we have to be, because now we are just actually wrapping up season pass designs for spring, summer. So for April, May, June. So those are just about done. I'd say they're 90% of the way done. And then now transitioning into another travel collection that'll be released in May. So that's look how far you have to work in advance. I mean, that won't be released until May, and it's December. Isn't that crazy? And then you know what we'll start working on in April? Christmas. April, we'll start working on Christmas again. So when I say yes, I love this Dear December collection, but I've had it in one form or another since April. And I'm like, you know what? I'm ready. I am ready for something different. All righty. Here are my 6 boxes. And I'm going to clean that off. And then I'm going to, yes. Oh my gosh, Zen girls. I get it. I understand now. Yes, tradition. And the guy, I guess it's the fiddler, right? And he's singing tradition and he's kind of doing this, like I think his legs, he's kind of doing this. You can't see me. Yeah. Yes. And he's sitting. I've seen it. And now I know. Now I get it, right? You just sometimes you have to hit me over the head with things. Um, Married at First Sight. Oh, that's crazy. That's entertainment, right? That's Married at First Sight. Could you imagine? Although, I mean, you have arranged marriages and things like that, but I don't know if it's at first sight, but I guess you're going to get married whether you like the person or not. Marriage at first sight. Yikes. Then you're like, wonder how long those last. Probably not very long, right? Probably not very long. Now, is it the kind of thing, do they, like, get to know each other first? Like, do they get to know each other on, do they talk on the phone a lot? And or is it like really, "Hey, hey, let's get married." Okay. You signed up for a show, so I hope we have something in common kind of thing. All right. So, I'm going to die cut these out. And then we will not work much past that today. We'll finish this one up when we are together again. So let's talk about that for a second. Let's talk about what's coming up while I'm doing this. We are not listing next week. Next Saturday is the 13th, and we will be out of town. So, or I'll be out of town. We'll be out of town. So we will not be listing next week, and that is Saturday the 13th. We will be listing the following week, which would be the 20th and the 27th. All right. So, um, if you missed the beginning, I did a little sneak peek at two things that are coming out in December, December 15th. Two things that are coming out: season pass, brand new revamped season pass for winter spring, and then also the year in review project kit. So that is December 15th. I will be doing a live that night to show everything off. So join me. What else is coming out December 15th? A sticker book. Uh huh. A sticker book. Haven't done sticker books before. So I think you will be excited when you see that. Some of you will be very excited. Some of you will be like, oh, that's cool, but I didn't need it. That'll make sense. When you see it, you'll be like, ah, okay, Lael, I get it. Um, so you'll want to stay tuned for December 15th. And it'll happen. I haven't said the time yet. We are in New York, and we get back on the 14th, late at night on the 14th. So I've got to make sure that I give myself plenty of time on that Monday, the 15th, in the day to kind of make sure everything, all the I's are dotted and the T's are crossed. All right. So that live will be that night, but there'll be an email to remind you. All righty. Just getting these guys done. And then um, I will adhere them and add a couple of die cuts, and then basically I'll fill the rest of it in. Um, in fact, I probably won't even do the die cuts. We'll probably just get these guys down, and then, excuse me, when we are together next week, we'll finish it up. Not next week. Sorry, we're not together next week. When we're together on the 20th, we will we will finish, and then we'll do two more lists. All right, last guy. Last guy. I turned that. All righty. We'll chat more about our holiday traditions when we're together next week. I mean, gosh, in 2 weeks. In 2 weeks, Leo. 2 weeks. All right. So these guys. Just kind of our little frames here. And then I'll write the holiday traditions in there. Now, these are all the same size, but I could have, there are different size little guys on, there are different size in the box. That's what I'm trying to say. I could have done different size in the boxes. So I think it will be fine that I do it this way because I will add some other little things around them. Or do we want to do it more like that? I think it's going to be like that. I think that's going to be, I think I'm going to like that look a little bit better, a little bit more uniform. One, two, three, four. This, so what I will end up doing, I'll end up writing in the boxes, but then I will also add, I mean, I'm not going to write a lot. I will also end up adding little die cuts to the boxes as well. So little things like that, that's a great way, especially if you're starting to get down to the end of something, or if you have like when the end of something, like end of a pack of die cuts or end of a pack of stickers, or if you have just a few from different like collections, right? That don't necessarily, they're not from the same manufacturer, but they're the same theme, Christmas, right? That's a really easy way to mix them because if you take something that's really basic, like those colors that we picked, and then the green, then you can mix your die cuts, no problem. All right, there we go. So there is the start. There's the start of our list that we will finish up in 2 weeks. All right, friends, I am going to rotate the camera. We have a Christmas party to go to tomorrow that I've got to go do some shopping for today. We're making some appetizers and then also some Wine gifts from the thrift store. So I can go to the thrift store. Uh, and the day is starting to get away from us. All right, I'm going to rotate the camera. Oh, Virginia, I love that. She said, I am so excited you wore this sweater today. Hope mine arrives in time for the book club party. Oh, that'll be perfect. Nice and festive, right? I'm rotating us. Just think, in hopefully a month, we will be no more rotating. I'll be so professional. I'll be like, oh, you won't even, know I did it. I'll be over here. I'll just push this little button. Oh, golly. See? Golly jeepers, Lael. It's time. It is really time. It's time for these, it's time for these things to get better. See, why is it doing that? I don't know. You know what? That's its way of saying, Lael, it's time to be done. The camera's tired. The camera doesn't even want to stick straight anymore. So, yes, if you missed that at the beginning, I've just ordered a whole bunch of new equipment, new cameras, and everything to really up the filming game. So we won't be, amateur. Well, we'll still be amateur, but we won't be quite as amateur as normal. All right, my friends. Thank you for joining me today. I always love this time of year when we're doing kind of our holiday list. It's a lot of fun. Uh, I will see you in 2 weeks here on Saturday the 20th, but also join me on Monday the 15th. Time to be decided. It'll be at night. Um, for the December release. I'll show you all the new things. All right. And enjoy the rest of your 2 weeks. Okay. The holidays, I know for a lot of people are hard. It can be a really hard time. So um take care of you. Really important to take care of you. Find the things that bring you joy and do those things, even if it's just little things, right? Even if it's just like sneaking away for an hour and watching a Hallmark Christmas movie, or having a nice cup of hot cocoa, or taking the time to read, right? We always need to take care of ourselves, but for a lot of people, this is a really hard time of year. So just a little grace, right? Especially the woman in the grocery store whose kids are screaming, and you think, oh my gosh, these kids are so loud. She needs grace, right? She needs something. We need to be nice. The people at the checkout, we need to be nice. So we just want to give people some grace this time of year. All right. Have wonderful next 2 weeks, and I will see you in 2 weeks. All right. Bye.